Yo, 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 skirt bag. What is up, you mother brother?
Just living in the glory of the Birds being NFC East champions. What about you?
Oh, yeah, I'm also doing that and living in the glory of not having to watch a game this weekend.
It's nice. The fact that it's like a bye week, but not really. It's like a bye week that we earned is nice.
Yeah. Earned bye week. None of
Yeah.
that free. I see players talking about they want 2 bye weeks in their NFL season. Get the one
Hey,
seed.
you get the one seed, and
Earn it.
your wish has been granted.
Earn that second bye.
Yeah. Said, yeah, you're gonna get 15,000 concussions in your career, but you got to earn a second week off. Come
That's
on now, we
right.
got money to make, son.
That's right.
Uh, not much, dude. Just fucking, like, kind of in like that whole like waiting period of like springtime to come. I feel like I'm like over winter already, even though it's still like only early January. But
hmm
the days have been getting longer since like December 21st, which is nice. Always love that.
Yeah.
Today is the official day of baseball being closer to opening day than it was to the last day of the
Yesterday?
season.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, we're now officially closer to opening day than we are close to like the last day of the season. So we've officially
Uh,
hit like like the midway, like
like the
past the midway
equinox.
point. Yes. So that's hype. Other than that, dude, just fucking been ripping out some weights in the gym, eating healthy. Feels good, man.
Feeling
I'm
like a
I'm
new
feeling
man.
good.
All
Yeah.
right, we got our boy fucking Owen up in here. He's ready to join. He's in the lobby, so I'm gonna let him in. Well, fucking, you guys are
Tell
in
him to
for a
take the
treat.
elevator.
You guys are in for a nice little treat. We're gonna have O-Dawg on here talking some shit.
Let's get it.
Without further ado,
Hey, what's up?
O-Dawg Hominy, what's up, baby?
What's going on, guys?
Not much, man. How are
Not
you?
much.
I'm doing all right. You guys live yet?
Yeah, we're
Yeah, we're
live.
live. We're live. We're ready to rock and
Oh, it's
roll.
already rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling, baby.
All right, well, thanks for having me on, guys.
Big fans. Happy to be your first guest of 2023.
Hell
Let's have some
yeah,
fun.
dude. Started
Early
off with a
guest too, dude.
bang.
Hell
Yeah, I was like, dude, who do I love talking shit with more than anybody in the world? It's that guy Owen Hominy, right? So I mean, can't think. I was thinking about having you on last week, and then I was like, nah, let's wait. We'll get the playoff like picture like set in stone, and we can just talk a bunch of shit and see where it goes and have some fun with it. Now that we have like a better outlook on what's actually going to happen in the playoffs.
yeah. I was going to say, your podcast kind of revolves around
Sports a bit, and it's a perfect weekend for it. Super wild card weekend. You just had a college football
Exactly.
national championship, World Cup. So
Are you getting to AJ's this week?
I'll do that.
Dude, I'm
I know you
bummed.
won't be.
I know Johnny, our boy AJ's having everybody over. He says wild card weekend's his favorite weekend, so he's having all the boys over on Saturday, and like everybody's bringing something. Connor's gonna be smoking something. Like I want to be there, man, and I'm gonna be
Why?
in
Where do
San
you?
Diego.
Oh, that's right. You're going.
Yeah,
You're going
yeah, I
out
mean,
west. I
it's
forgot
not
about
bad
that.
place.
they
Nah, dude, but like I peeped the weather, and it's not even gonna be nice. It's gonna be raining both days this weekend. I'm
Is
like,
it gonna
yo,
be like
straight
at least
dookie.
warm rain, or is it gonna be
No,
cold and rainy?
it's gonna be like
That's
50,
tough.
60.
Oh,
Like
that's
high
tough. That's
50s,
the
low
worst.
60s, both days. I'm just like, bro, this is booty.
That'll be a good time.
Yeah. But I mean, at least on Sunday, I know we're not doing shit. Like we're just chilling at the pool, drinking, playing games and stuff. So I'm like, word, we're gonna have all the games up. Or I mean, there's only one at a time, but like, can always gonna be able to have it up, so I can just do a little partying, do a little game watching. Just
Yeah,
be
Sunday's
everywhere at
definitely a
once.
lot better for the game. Saturday is really nice.
they've been too great.
Who's playing Saturday?
I think it's San Francisco and Seattle.
Oh yeah,
And
that game's
then
not gonna be any
I
good.
think it's the Chargers in Jacksonville. So,
That game will be
Yeah.
good. I think it'll be competitive because I think that they're
In a good,
both like
like good
mediocre.
competitive or bad competitive? Because the Chargers, I feel like every time they've been like in prime time this year, have just shit the bed and like has not been fun to watch.
for years. So,
I think this
sounds
year
about
was a
right.
big letdown for them.
Yeah.
At least they got in
Um,
the playoffs.
yeah, they did get into the playoffs. They snuck in with a wild. Well, they didn't really sneak in. They're the 5 seed. So I mean, they made it a wild card pretty easily. But I just feel like the expectations were so high and like that whole division. But
They all shoot the bed.
the Raiders and the
Raiders are
Broncos.
Nightmare. Broncos even worse.
Yeah, and they were both like, "Oh, these like Broncos might be a Super Bowl contending team."
Same with the
And
Yeah,
Raiders.
same with the Raiders.
And then by week 4, you're like, okay, laughing stock of the NFL. They literally became the biggest joke. Broncos country, let's
That's the
ride.
quarterback. So it's pretty rough year.
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. Apparently, all the wide receivers like have Russ's back. Apparently, like I haven't seen it, but I heard on Twitter they're
The
all like,
linemen do not.
"Oh yeah, dude, like Russ is our man. Like we'll be good in the future." Blah blah blah.
That's wild.
I don't know, but like if you think about it, their receivers didn't have bad years. Like if you look at it from like a fantasy lens, like when Sutton was in there, I feel like he was decent, and like I feel like Judy had a pretty good fantasy season too.
Better
I don't
compared to his
know.
last few years, dude. He was like supposed to be a breakout guy his rookie year, and then he just couldn't stay healthy. And then Russ comes in, and we're like, oh, Judy's gonna be nice now, and it's like he still like didn't have that breakout that everyone has been expecting out of him.
They were missing Tim Patrick.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Part actually, yeah.
They lost him in the preseason. They're like, you know what? 2 good receivers just isn't gonna cut it. We need that third guy
try
in here.
again next year.
But KJ Hamler's there too, and he's nice.
Yeah, but losing Devontae Williams hurt for him, and he flew at his knee like week 3. Like,
I know. Yeah, and like I don't know what they were doing with Melvin Gordon, and then they let him go, and they brought in Latavius Murray, who actually finished the year really strong.
Yeah, but starting Lat Murray like this type of
year,
this day and age, not going to work
for you.
No, not at all. I mean, but they were so bad, and like they just relied so heavily on the run game. I was trying to sell him in Dynasty. It didn't work. Still stuck with him.
How old is he? He's almost 30, right?
He's over 30.
He is?
I think he's 32 or 33 right now.
Yeah, not ideal out of your starting running back.
No. But I mean, you get Javonte back next year. That's the thing. This like next year going into fantasy, we're all gonna be saying the same thing. Oh, you have Javonte, you have Cortland Sutton, you have Jerry Jeudy, you got Greg Dulcich. Like, they're gonna be good.
I'm gonna buy
into Russ next year.
Yeah. We have one league with our boy Waldo. It's like a bunch of his friends from home, and I took Russ before Joe Burrow. It was like the 6th round, I think, and I took Russ. I didn't think that was too early to take him, but this one kid was like, dude, I can't believe you took Russ ahead of Joe Burrow, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, we'll see. And then Russ was bad.
Joe Burrow was good.
Yeah. Especially like his second half of the season. It was the same thing last year because I traded for him last year in Orchids. I traded Rodgers and I think just some fab for Joe Burrow. And Joe Burrow had like 2 bad weeks. And I was like, oh no. And then he went crazy in the fantasy playoffs and won me a title. And I was like, let's fucking go.
What's the Bengals? Like, they didn't start this year too great, but I think they won like 9 in a row, didn't they?
Yeah, they ended the season dummy hot, something like that. They'll be good. They're one of the favorites. Like, I was watching PTI before this, and the 2 guys on there, Kornheiser and Wilbon, they both like the Bengals. They think they're the most complete team. They had Booger on there. He's kind of a knucklehead, but he thinks they're the most complete team too, on the AFC side anyway. And then the Niners on the NFC, which I think too, dude. The Niners are stacked. I put some money on them at plus 200 to win the NFC.
I don't know. Drop 30? I don't trust that.
No, me neither. But like everything else is so good. Best defense in the league, like by a mile. And like look at the competition in the NFC. It's really them and the Eagles, and the Eagles' offense hasn't been great. Like,
and Brock Purdy hasn't been that bad either.
He's been good.
Kind of been
he's actually been good. That's what's weird about it. But,
and like they went to the fucking Super Bowl a few years ago with Jimmy G when all he did was manage the offense. He wasn't fucking setting the world on fire. Yeah. That defense is just so good. They only need to score 13 points and they'll win. But then you're going to get to the Super Bowl and you're going to play the Bengals, the Chiefs, or the Bills, who will most likely drop 35 on your head. And that's going to be a different story.
They're like defense-proof, dude, those 3 teams. Like, it doesn't matter who they play. They're going to drop a bunch of points.
Unless it's the first half, then the Bills struggle. But Bills in the second half, money. I feel like they're always coming back this year.
Bills go down 20, and they're going to score 35 in the second half to win.
Yeah, Josh Allen goes to the locker room, gets roided up probably, comes out and just goes nuts.
Just won't give Mahomes 13 seconds again.
I know, dude. Literally, that was crazy. That was crazy, dude. Like,
disappointed.
I think the Bills win it all this year. I think it's just like written in the stars or by the NFL.
Behind Hamlin.
Yeah,
I can see it happening.
After what happened last year, like they literally changed how overtime works now, changed the rules. Like,
Uh-huh.
and now you got DeMar Hamlin, bro. He actually just got released from the hospital today. That's good looks. Like, he's going to be in the stands. Maybe not this weekend. That's pretty quick. But, like, probably for all the rest
the
of the
Super
games,
Bowl.
he'll be,
Yeah, he'll
like,
He'll
they
be
make
there
the
at some
Super
point
Bowl.
for sure.
he'll be in the box probably with the owner if he's not on the sideline. Honestly, I feel like being on the sideline is probably a bad call because it's, like, too exciting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, for that much, like,
You don't wanna
your
keep
heart's
him-
going to be
keep him away from
racing
that.
on
Yeah.
the sideline.
Yeah,
That's probably
dude.
not what you want. Fresh
Somebody
off
get this man a
cardiac
Red
arrest.
Bull and put him on the sideline.
They were
Oh,
saying, like,
Jesus.
what if he wants to play? Like, if they go on a run, like, what if he's like, Coach, I'm good. Like, let me suit up.
I well, not this year. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
It's
scenario.
still unlikely.
Yeah, I can't see the team doctors letting that happen. Even if he's like, dog, I'm good. Put me in, Coach. I'm ready to play. He'll fucking break out his guitar and start singing to him. I still don't think he's getting on the field.
It's crazy because the only thing you can compare it to is like Christian Eriksen kind of
Yeah.
almost dying on the field, and give it 2 years and he's back playing. So
Yeah, at like
I mean,
a pretty
football's a
high
little
level.
more contact to the chest area, so
Yeah.
maybe keep him out. But you never know.
What if they get to the Super Bowl and let him suit up just in case they're up like 30 points by the end of the game, and then just put him in for like the last play of the game? That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless
Like,
he
there
gets
you go.
fucking lit up.
Yeah, but it's like it's like a kneel down on offense, like and
Oh,
they just,
that's
like, all right,
true.
slot in at receiver, we'll
Yeah,
get you
yeah.
on the field for
You'll just be the guy that stands behind Josh Allen when he's kneeing the ball.
right, or you know what, you knee the ball down.
Well, that might
Yes,
lead to
though.
a fumble. Okay, but I guess if they're up big, it doesn't matter. I could see them doing that. Because, I
That
mean,
would be cool.
it's the Super Bowl. It's not week 4 when roster spots are, like, valuable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If
I
you're
wonder
using
what
52 guys in the Super Bowl, you got big issues.
Yeah, I wonder what the over/under on DeMar Hamlin snaps in the Super Bowl is right now.
It's
Well, I'm putting my whole bank
probably,
account on 0. I'm
It's
taking out
definitely
a loan.
I'm putting it on 0.
yeah, the line's 0.5, and it's, like, plus 10,000. And the over is, like, plus 10,000, and the under's, like,
Yeah.
minus 2,500 or 25,000. There's no way he plays. But yeah, they were talking about that too, and I was like, dude, nah, you can't let him back
Not
out.
happening. No shot. The
Um,
amount of flack they would catch if they let him do that and like he actually got hurt, even if it wasn't like heart related, but he got hurt, like hurt his shoulder. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
Like, dude, what are you guys fucking doing?
Yeah, the NFL's taken enough heat this year for letting players back on the field. I think it's probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
A bad business decision on their part.
well,
Yeah.
the first Tua injury, I was fucking watching Around the Horn before PTI. I've been getting into this nice after work like rhythm. I done work at 5, and I'm like, all right, shutting my laptop. Fuck you guys, I'm not working late. I throw ESPN on, do a little Around the Horn, PTI. Usually I make dinner, but I already had a bunch of shit made, so I just threw some shit in the microwave, smoke, eat, watch my fucking sports. That's like the only hour that I care about on ESPN. Money. But I'm watching Around the Horn, and this chick's talking about how Tua's first injury was a back injury, and I'm like, dog, we just need to call that a fucking
No.
concussion. She was like,
Yeah.
yeah, he had a back injury with concussion-like symptoms. Because she was like, he had 2 concussions within like a 2-month span. And I'm like, you mean 2 weeks? And then I'm like, oh, I guess if you're saying the first one's not a concussion, then you're fucked. But
Yeah, he had 3 in 2 month span.
yeah.
Yeah, the first one was when he was run off the field and like collapsed, right?
This
think
last
so.
one?
The first
No,
one.
the first one, right?
The first one, he fell like in the end zone, and then he got up, and then he fell again, like walking to the
yeah.
sideline. Yeah, and then he went to the tent.
Yeah,
And
back
he might have
injury's not going
collapsed
to do
after
that to you.
No,
No.
no,
But smacking the back of your head off the turf will.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the same way his next 2 happened too. The one that fucking made him throw up the gang signs, he just hit his head going down. Like that wasn't a bad like malicious tackle at all.
No,
And then the one last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, like kind of same deal. Like he was just like scrambling, flipped the pass out, tackled him. He came down on his back and smacked his head on the turf. And it's like, maybe you shouldn't play football anymore.
you hear about that thing? So the Tua injury happened
In Cincinnati. The Hamlin one happened in Cincinnati. And like back
back in the day when
Antonio Brown got rocked, happened in Cincinnati.
Oh
So,
yeah,
like, you kind of want to
yeah.
Stay away from road games over there.
yeah. Don't go to
Cincinnati got
Cincinnati
something in the turf,
and
dude.
don't go to MetLife.
yeah, we're that.
It
If you want to have
depends.
a career, don't go
Go to MetLife, but that's besides the point.
If you want to have a good quality of life at the age 45, don't go to Cincinnati. Because like it really depends. Like, do you want to get your shit rocked and be like, fucked for the rest of your life in Cincinnati, or do you want to tear your ACL in MetLife
yeah, on that turf. Yeah.
and then take a year off and then come back? But I mean, maybe you're never the same and your career's fucked. But at least you can
If I
remember
was
your
an
kid's
NFL
name.
player, I would rather have concussions.
Than a torn ACL.
Nah.
I mean, for like the immediate,
depends.
Like,
I think
immediately, yes, but like for my future, like the future of my life, I would probably rather have a torn ACL.
But
I think if
career-wise, it shortens your career a lot. On ACL, unless you're a quarterback.
yeah, but I
Like
think
I'd rather have a brain.
if
than,
I was
like, a bunch of
established though, and
players.
I had already made like a good chunk of change, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, take my ACL, I'll retire right now.
Okay, but if you're a rookie on your first,
If I'm a
like rookie
rookie,
deal,
A 1-year contract. Like
If I'm a rookie, I'd way rather have a concussion. I'd take a
Yeah,
concussion
exactly.
10 times out of 10.
yeah, you can
because,
start it
like-
off. I'm good.
Yeah, that's like the only way I'm making money, and like currently I have none. That's why I went
Exactly.
to a D1 school, was so I could come here and make money for my family.
So yeah, you'll
Um,
be brain dead at 45. So take it, as you will.
Yeah, might be worth it. Take your mom on
Liking the lesser
vacation.
of evils. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to go probably like back to whatever situation I was in. And it's not like, I mean, most players that make it to the NFL, like a handful of them are like really smart, but most of them like just know football, and like don't really have many skills they can take
Yeah,
elsewhere.
because the time it
That's what
takes
you're
to
fine
become a
with.
professional athlete, like you don't have time to like hit the books and actually care about school, dude. You're just training all the time and playing your sport and doing as
Getting
much
ripped.
as you can to make it on the. Yeah, pretty much, dude. Like I'm not gonna fucking worry about economics 101 in college if I'm a D1 athlete. What?
Nah.
The fuck?
No, you can't.
Unless you're Richard Sherman, he was like or
Yeah,
like Andrew
you
Luck.
go to Stanford.
Yeah, I guess if you go to
That's nothing
Stanford,
fall back on.
they got that other bull. He's like real well spoken and like it's like crazy like philosophical. Oh, Emmanuel Acho, he's always
Oh, yeah.
like speaking some wisdom. He like speaks very eloquently. I don't know if I like it or not though. Just give me the sports, dog. It doesn't have to be that
Simple.
deep.
I fucking love. Did you guys see Jamal Williams' interview after they knocked out the Packers?
He
on
was
the
like,
field.
don't sleep on us. Like he's like, I don't even watch TV, but I know they were picking us to lose.
Yeah, but so like she asked him like what this game ball meant to him or whatever, and he started crying. And he was like, "This is for my grandfather," blah blah blah. And then he's like, "Don't even think these tears aren't like legit, man. We're dogs out here. We're motherfucking dogs. Like these tears aren't shit." It's just like he just went from crying to talking the most shit in like 5
Yeah.
seconds. It was awesome.
Jamal Williams, a man, he got 2 touchdowns and broke Barry Sanders' single season rushing touchdown record for the Lions. That's why
Yeah,
he
I
got
saw
the
that.
game ball. That's crazy, bro. Like,
Barry Sanders record, and like Jamal Williams, like everybody going into the season, like DeAndre Swift is the guy. Like Jamal
Yeah.
Williams is a nice complimentary piece, but
he is.
then Jamal Williams comes out and balls out and is breaking fucking records. Like
He
James
was
Conner
like
2.0 last year.
legitimately, dude. He was the goal line guy. He got every goal line carry, and like then DeAndre Swift got hurt, and he just took advantage of it and just went crazy. Had himself one fucking
Swift
hell
is
of a year.
weird.
He's such a disappointing player. Every year I have high expectations for DeAndre Swift, and every year he's like good for a bit, but not good over the entire season.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people like that kind of had like we had high expectations for. That just didn't
a lot of
like
people
Kyle
had that.
Pitts, one of those
yeah.
guys.
Yeah. He was so bad this year.
I think it was the quarterback. Yeah, I wouldn't blame it on Pitts yet.
No.
Nah,
But
yeah.
it's like how long? Like I traded Darren Waller and some picks and Isaiah Likely to Johnny for Kyle Pitts and like a couple picks back in a dynasty league. So now I'm like, well, how long do I have to wait for Kyle Pitts to have a good quarterback who has good rapport with him? And now you got Drake London there too.
Right. They're probably going to take a quarterback in the draft this year, but, like, who's to say he's going to be a stud right out of the gate? You know what I mean?
But are they? Because they got Desmond Ritter, so like you picked him for a reason.
That's true. I just feel like the quarterback
I think
class
it's
this year is
fair,
slow.
I mean, maybe they just want to keep Mariota. Nah. But I mean,
Washed.
but then also they have Arthur Smith who wants to run the ball. But they don't have very good running backs.
they're just a fucking mess, dude.
Yeah.
that team was
Yeah.
a mess.
Jason, top to bottom.
Yeah. They have like one linebacker. I can't think of his name right now, but he wears number 45, and he's nice. I would love for the Eagles to go get him. He's like a middle linebacker. But other than that, their team is booty cheeks.
Yeah, they're like the new Lions.
Yeah, but like, I guess that's actually not a bad idea because he.
Fair to think about trading them?
Yeah, they're like, well, I guess they're like, yeah, we're not closing the door on, taking a quarterback with the number 1 pick. I think that does 2 things. I think it just builds the market, right? It's like, okay, if you want Justin Fields, come get him, pay your price. And, maybe they trade Justin Fields for like a first and a third. I heard that rumor going around. I think a first and a third is a little bit much, but Justin Fields has been good. So maybe it depends on, the value.
He's
But
been
then
good for like half a year, though. He hasn't really like, it's not like he's got a full season under his belt of being
Right.
like, a reliable, good quarterback. I mean, he did have a crazy like year on the ground, but
yeah,
even then,
but also it drives the value up of the number 1 pick, right? Like they're like, oh, maybe we'll take a quarterback, and Houston's right behind him. Like, well, they have Davis Mills, they might want a quarterback, so maybe Houston trades them their number 2 pick and then like another pick later in the draft, right? And now like, all right, well, we didn't even fucking want a quarterback, we got Justin Fields, so now you guys are gonna jump us and take a quarterback, and we'll take the number 1 O-line in the draft.
Yeah,
Right.
Not a bad idea. And Houston has a ton of picks after the whole Washington, so like, it could just be all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, I don't know, but Wilbon was talking about it, and he was like, bro, the Chicago's GM that said that, I've been a fan of the Bears longer than he's been alive, almost double it. So, because like the dude's like in his 30s and he's the GM, it's crazy. He's like, I don't trust that guy at all, but like we'll see. And like they're on the clock now and all this stuff. But apparently they're getting a fucking dome in Chicago.
Are they really?
Yeah.
oh,
like
that's
that.
whack.
Yeah, I don't like when these cold
Dude, Chicago and Soldier Field and Lambeau. You need snow games there.
You need snow games.
That's part
there.
of football.
Like, what's the only team left that's gonna have snow games? Buffalo.
New England.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buffalo and New England.
Pittsburgh and Philly a little bit.
Pittsburgh and Philly a little bit. Maybe Seattle. And then Jets and Giants potentially.
Dude, I feel like we haven't gotten a good snow game in like 2 or 3 years.
They moved the one. They had one in Buffalo this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but didn't it get canceled?
They moved it to Detroit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
I saw videos of the players like leaving the stadium after they flew back home and they were like in their cars, and like there's literally one dude who had an SUV with pretty much another SUV of snow on top of it. He's like, I'm not even cleaning my shit off. I'm completely buried. It was unreal, bro. It was like this guy literally was driving 2 cars. They probably couldn't have played. Well, they probably could have played, but like nobody would have been able to get there. It would have been an empty stadium, and it would have.
Dude, like 30 people died in that snowstorm,
and they didn't even go to the game.
They're trying to get to the game. They died.
Buffalo's a cool city like that, though. Like I've seen them before, like digging out the stadium, like the fans going with
shovels and like clear it out.
Yeah,
like, you don't get that in other cities.
Yeah. No,
Remember
Kansas City will have some too, some snow games.
Remember when the
and Denver
roof collapsed in Minnesota?
Oh yeah.
That was a wild video.
That was because of snow.
Yeah.
But think about the advantage that Green Bay has now. Like you got 3 dome teams in your division, and they gotta potentially come to Green Bay at the end of the year when it's fucking cold and play you.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the division games are end of the year now, right? Like this Packers-Lions game, like I mean, Lions still won, but that's because the Packers weren't good. But the Lions had to go there like last game of the season and pull out a dub, and that's not too easy in the cold.
Wasn't every game this week 18 a division game?
Yeah,
that's what they did.
And like think about how many games within the NFC East the Birds played to end the year. They played the Cowboys. I don't think they played the Commanders. I think they played the Commanders twice early, but they played the Cowboys and the Giants twice, like within the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy on division matchups.
Yeah, and they're all right. These are going to be the biggest games that might have like the biggest impact on the playoffs. Let's put these end of the season.
And did they just start doing that?
I feel like over the last couple of years, I feel like prior to like maybe last year or the year before, they were like very just equally dispersed. Like they didn't load them up like that. But I feel like just recently they started doing it. But I mean, you got good football out of it because we got Jags Titans on Saturday, which wasn't good football, but
No, but it's a championship game for the division.
meaningful. Right? Yeah, it's a playoff game essentially. It's meaningful football. Yeah. The AFC this week was crazy because you had the Pats back and forth with the Bills. They ended up losing, knocked themselves out. And then you got Pittsburgh. They pull out the win against Cleveland to give themselves a shot. And you're like, all right, well, what's Miami going to do?
It was heartbreaking.
And then you got Miami, who's fucking shitting it up against the Jets, who have been decent all season, but no quarterback or anything. And, that was a shit show. They barely won there. And, knocked the Steelers out of the playoffs.
So close. It was at the end of week 14. They had a 0.1% chance of getting in the playoffs.
Damn.
And literally 15, 16, 17, everything aligns up. And the final Sunday of the year, all you need is the Jets to be the third string quarterback.
And sure enough.
Couldn't get it done.
Couldn't get it
Leave
done.
It to the Jets,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah, exactly. Classic.
And their defense has been good all year. Like, they only gave up 6 or 9 points.
Yeah, and the worst part was it was Joe Flacco. All the years going against the Steelers. He could have returned the favor once for me.
Couldn't do it.
He lost it on purpose. He was like, fuck the Steelers.
I honestly think he was like, if I win this.
If the Steelers get in, no, not happening.
I wouldn't be surprised, dude. I don't care. I hate Joe Flacco.
Oh, yeah, terrible.
Everybody, I just hate him because everyone wants to say, like, oh, he's elite. He's elite. No, he's fucking bum.
Trevor, is Joe Flacco elite?
Not once in his life was Joe Flacco elite.
Dude, he won a Super Bowl on pass interference calls. Just chucking it deep.
Hoping for the best.
Didn't he get paid after that, too? Didn't he get, like, a huge contract?
Yeah, hundreds of millions. Maybe not that much.
A lot.
Yeah. And then, let's see. We had the Texans beat the Colts by 1 point after going for 2 to lose the first-round pick.
What, dude? How stupid. And then he gets fired.
And then Lovie Smith gets fired. I think, dude, that's like something I think maybe the league needs to look into after everything with Brian Flores in Miami, with them basically saying, like, we wanted him to tank. You know what I mean? Now it's like this guy just, won to get you a worse draft pick. Like, and then you fire him.
Yeah, he was always kind of set up to be fired, though.
Yeah, I think so, too.
It was a bad situation to go into.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been saying it for a while now. They need to figure out a way to do, like, some sort of different way to, like, determine who gets the first pick. Because, like, the last 3 or 4 weeks of, like, the bottom teams, like, the inside of their organizations, like, why, like, we have no point in trying to win games now. We got to make it look like we're trying to win games. But then you get shit like this at the end of the season where you do win a game. And it's like, I won the game, but at the cost of my fucking job. Like, it's just, there needs to be a new way to, like, determine who gets the highest picks.
Do you want to do a lottery like in the NBA?
I wouldn't mind a lottery, but also I feel like that's not, like, the most accurate way to do it. I feel like there should be, instead of a Pro Bowl, and I know, like, we've said this before and people have said this before, but, like, instead of the Pro Bowl stupid bullshit where they play, like, flag football for 20 minutes and, like,
you should have all the GMs box. Royal Rumble with all the GMs. That's how you determine your draft.
No age limit. I don't care if you're 60. I don't care if you're 30. You're getting in that fucking ring and you're getting tossed over the top rope.
I hope Howie Roseman been working on the right hook.
No, I think they should do a game between the last place and the second to last place team, and, like, whoever wins that game gets the last pick. Because outside of that, you know what I mean, it doesn't really matter, like, the difference between, like, the third and fourth pick, you know what I mean? It's pretty much all the same from, like, 3 to 7, and then 9 to 15.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, I don't think the players would ever do that, but I mean, they might.
Especially, I mean, it'll definitely come into, like, well, you could probably put it in, like, players' contracts, but, like, if
what if you made it wild card weekend instead of the Pro Bowl? So it's not like, okay, players are gonna have, like, a month off to chill the fuck out and then have to go back to football. What if you're just like, all right, now we have to play the next week for, the first round, the first pick.
It back. Or, dude, we didn't have a Monday night game this week, so why wouldn't we just do?
Because it was week 18, dickhead. They were already playing.
I know, but, like, that's what I'm saying. Save, like, you know how they flex games, like, in the middle of the season? Like, take the last 2 bottom place teams and put them on Monday night after Sunday of week 18.
And then we can't do that. The Monday after week 18.
I like the wild card
the week after.
Yeah, like wild card weekend.
Wild card, yeah, the Monday of wild card weekend.
I'll make it a little political. Make it a 14 playoff. Why not?
Yeah, or just like do
Yeah.
it like this, like add a Saturday game and make that it, because there already is a Monday night game, I think. Yeah, it's
Oh
Bucks
right,
Cowboys
Tampa
Monday
Bay
night
and
again.
Cowboys. Yeah.
That's the first time they're doing that, right?
I don't know.
I
I
don't remember
doubt
any
Or
it.
give
Monday
us a
night playoff
Thursday
games.
night game, like Thursday night, like tomorrow night would be like the
Bro,
you
fuck
know,
fuck
first
Amazon
overall
Prime.
pick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Make it tonight or tomorrow night. Yeah,
Right. Before
that wouldn't
wild
be
card
bad.
weekend
And then it's
starts.
like, all right, look, you guys, you're almost on vacation. It's almost your off season.
Yeah, and then
One
your
more
starting
game.
quarterback tears his ACL, so you can draft a quarterback.
First overall.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It comes full circle in that game.
Yeah, that would be
Too
tough
bad.
if like you lose a key player and you're like,
Yeah, Justin
Fuck,
Fields
now
tears
I
his
gotta-
ACL. Well, now we got to draft Bryce Young.
Fuck
yeah.
it, dude. Make it practice squad versus practice squad. There you go.
Ooh,
Whoever's got the nicest practice squad will get the first pick. Because then
Hey,
if someone
Kenny's
goes down,
Royal
you're like, yeah.
Rumble. The coach has got to play quarterback.
ooh.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I wouldn't mind that, dude. If the Birds were battling for the number one pick, and we had our boy Nick fucking slinging the dime, I'd be about that.
Yeah.
I think Dougie P would be good, ex quarterback
Yeah,
and all.
playing quarterback, yeah.
I don't know who else would be a good quarterback. Probably
Yeah,
Sean
kinda
McVay.
Yeah,
He's just an athletic dude. I feel like he can sling a rock. And I feel like he's got like crazy mind, like Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDaniel. 'Cause they're all like young and like fit looking dudes. So I'm like, they'll
Yeah.
probably be better than whoever else they'd have to play against.
Mike McDaniel looks like a guy that I would just like play Call of Duty with on a Tuesday night.
he sounds
He
like
also
a
looks like, yeah, Yeah.
Every time I see him, I'm just like, you just look like a guy I'd hang out with, like just a normal ass dude.
yeah. Mike McDaniel's cool. He's like not the best at the podium though, but
Yeah.
that's all right, dude. I've said this. People were saying the same thing about Nick Sirianni, his first interview, and they were like, "This guy sucks." I remember I had one kid telling me that Joe Judge was gonna outlast Nick Sirianni, and I was like, "Bro, there's no fucking shot." I was like, "I guarantee you, Joe Judge will be gone out of New York before Nick Sirianni is out of Philly." And you know what? Sure enough, I just had to wait 1 year.
1 year, that's all it took.
1 year, Joe Judge.
There's
is
only
gone.
room for one judge in New York anyway.
Jeez,
good point, yeah. I like that. I like that.
it's okay. The
Well,
Giants
Sam,
play in
jeez.
Jersey. I was saying this to Lex. I was like, I feel like if the Giants and the Jets were in like, somewhere in like Manhattan-ish area or like the Bronx and then Queens, I feel like they would be bigger. Like I feel like, and she
Probably, yeah, they
was like,
probably
but
would.
it's not that hard for fans to get to the stadium, like to take a train, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, but if it was in the city, that'd be way different.
I think it's
Yeah,
product
dude,
on
I
the
mean-
field, too.
Yeah, that's true.
They've been bad organizations for a while. Giants a little more respectable, but
Yeah, that's
a
true.
pile of shit. So
I mean, dude, Yankee Stadium's literally just dropped in the middle of the Bronx, like in the boroughs of Bronx. That's what gives it like the electricity, like
Mhm.
the fandom.
Yeah.
Like, people just literally live in Yankee
Yeah.
Stadium.
Dude, Lex's friend Kat that lives in New York, she's like, dude, like I've been to a couple Yankees games just because it's right there, it's in the city, it's something that we can go do pretty easily. She's like, this city, just like there's like no like Giants or Jets buzz at all.
No, unless like the radio. That's it.
Yeah.
Like Michael K and fucking what's his name? They just like they talk a lot of Giants, but like you don't see like people walking around New York City wearing like a Giants jersey or a Jets jersey.
Nah.
It's all Yankees, Mets. Or
Everywhere you
Knicks.
go, even living in South Jersey, this is just like little Philly. Like everywhere, it's all bird shit. We were
Yeah,
out
hate it.
we were at Costco with it was me and Lex and then her sister and her sister's boyfriend, and her sister was like, dude, they're just like everybody here is wearing Eagles gear. And I was like, yeah, it's like every other person pretty much got something birds on.
Love that.
It's not
Let's
bad.
hope they crumble in the playoffs.
Yeah, dude, probably. They don't look good, and Lane Johnson needs to get healthy. I
Yeah.
mean, they weren't really using Hurts last week to what Hurts usually does. Like, he wasn't really running and stuff, which is smart. But it's tough, like, because now, like, I don't know what to expect in 2 weeks, right? Like, are we going to get the offense that we had before Hurts got hurt, or is it going to be, a shell
Oh,
of that?
dude, if we going into this game where the team we were in like week 13, I'm sitting here and I'm like, bro, we're winning the Super Bowl. Like nobody's beating us. But now that like, Hurts was out for 2 weeks and Lane Johnson's out and we got some other
Yep.
injuries, I'm like, ooh, all right,
Yep.
not as confident as I was 5 weeks ago.
Are you scared of playing anybody? in the second round?
Really only
The Niners, maybe.
the Niners, but we won't see them in the second round.
No.
Like that's not possible because they're the number 2, but they're like the only ones I'm scared of. Honestly, Dallas a little bit. They always scare me, right? Divisional matchups, like it's pretty much a toss up. I
don't think they're beating Tampa Bay though.
They could. Tampa Bay's so bad, dude.
Yeah,
but their defense is
Brady
solid.
in the playoffs. Dallas
Brady in the
looks like shit
playoffs,
the last
2
few
good
weeks.
defenses. Dak's thrown fucking picks in 7
Pick six
straight.
up. Yeah.
He
I
was
don't know.
bad last week. They got fucked around on by the Commanders.
And also the Cowboys just choke every single year. They look like this every year, and they choke every year, dude.
Yeah, and
They
that's
can't
kind
even
of
make
Dak's
it to
thing.
the championship game. Yeah, I love it. It's the next to the Birds winning in the playoffs. Seeing the Cowboys fail is my next favorite thing.
Yeah,
And you get it every year, so.
every year they make
Yeah,
it.
every year I've been alive, honestly.
Dak's 1-3 in the playoffs in his career.
Oh, so bad.
1 wild card game win. That's it. But then he also lost that one game, week 17 in Philly, when Carson Wentz was throwing the fucking garbage cans, and we went on to I think we won the NFC East with some putrid record. We went to the playoffs. They didn't. I mean, that's pretty much a playoff game. You know what I mean? It's the same as fucking Jags Titans was this weekend.
Every year.
Every year. I mean,
Yeah,
who do you think's on more of a hot seat, Dak or McCarthy?
I would say McCarthy, but they're not really talking about him.
I don't know.
anymore.
How long can you just keep rolling out Dak to the point where it's like, oh, he's our guy, but he's like Carson Wentz, other than his one like half MVP year. He's done nothing to prove it, dude.
You're right. But it's tough because who else are you going to bring in? It's like, who's good enough?
Cooper. He's a gunslinger, Jim.
He's
Not that guy. But Dak isn't either, and that's the fair point.
No, but I give Dak so much fucking shade because he's a Cowboy, but like he's not that bad either.
No, he's a good quarterback.
I just don't know if he's the guy that's going to get you over the hump.
Yeah, but if they lose to Tampa, then we're going to hear a lot coming out of Dallas.
Jerry said McCarthy's safe. This wild card game doesn't matter to him. But I mean, you can say anything on the radio beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. You have to say that. You can't tell your coach you're going to get fired
when you lose this game.
Yeah.
You all know it's probably going to happen.
Somebody was saying, somebody on Around the Horn was like, "Well, McCarthy's safe. He doesn't even coach. Kellen Moore calls the offense. Dan Quinn calls the defense, and McCarthy just calls timeouts." I was like, well, yeah, you can't put the blame on him if he's not making any of the calls.
Unless clock management's terrible.
Yeah. But then, I mean, also it's like, that's how you guys went out against Washington. Like, you probably thought they were like an inferior opponent. You could just go and like hang the fuck out. I don't even know who started for them at quarterback.
Sam Howell, bro, the Coastal
Bull.
Yeah.
Yes. Was he a Coastal Bull?
I'm pretty sure he was a Coastal Bull for a while.
Interesting.
I'm gonna look that up because I'm like almost 90% sure he was at Coastal.
I thought it was UNC. I could be wrong, but I thought it was UNC.
I think you're right. I think it was UNC. I think it was North Carolina, not Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, you're right.
Who's the other Bull from there? Or maybe he's not from there. Oh, Trubisky's from UNC.
Yeah.
He's a bum too.
Where did Danny Dimes go? Oh, he went to Duke, right?
Yeah.
That's so weird hearing that as like a football player because like Duke football, fuck.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be nice. I wonder what's gonna happen with him next year, dude. This is gonna be an interesting offseason.
I think he's been pretty good this year, dude. I think he's definitely taking a step forward.
Dude, a 1 year, a 2 year, or is do you think he's gonna go somewhere else and try to get a 5 year?
No one's giving him 5 years. You'd be out of your mind if you did Daniel Jones 5 years.
If I'm the Giants, I'm probably doing a 2-year deal with a 3rd-year team option.
Kind of like a prove it 2-year, or maybe even just like a 1-year prove it with a 2nd-year team option.
I mean, or like
do it Saquon though.
I don't know, keep him, dude. He's one of the best running backs in the league. What do you mean?
Gonna pay him? No, he's in the contract here too.
Yeah, but what are you going to pay Danny Dimes? All right, Danny Dimes, go find yourself a new fucking job because you're very disposable. You tell us what the market is for you because it's probably like, I don't know, it can't be more than $25 million a year.
No. You wouldn't get that much.
And you probably give Saquon like a 2-year. I'm not giving. I don't know.
Then somebody might pay him.
I know, but it's the fraudulent Vikings.
They are frauds, dude.
Kirk
I
Cousins
think it
1
is.
o'clock. That might.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins 1 o'clock. He might be good.
Oh, he might be all right.
But I'm not giving Saquon a long deal because he's a running back. I'll give him 2 years with a 3rd-year option.
Bring them all back.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you can pay Saquon short term, but if you get him on a long-term contract, which, like, that's kind of what he deserves because he's been like the cornerstone of your franchise, albeit hurt, like still the face of your franchise for the past like 5 years. Like, he's not gonna last.
No, and I think if you do bring Danny Dimes back, dude, you gotta go out and get him a receiver.
You don't like what they have?
I don't know. Kenny Galladay.
It looks pretty good against the Birds.
Kenny
You see that
Galladay
touchdown?
had 1 touchdown and he scored it against the Birds in Week 18. What the fuck?
Setting himself up for good for next year. Give all that $70 million they gave him.
Don't let him get hot.
I mean, they got Richie James and they got
He actually looked
Darius
pretty nice.
Slayton.
No, all
Slayton's
seriousness,
like-
you're right. They got to get him some help.
Yeah.
Dude.
I mean, and they
Richie
traded
James and
away
Slayton.
Tony. But then who else do they have? DeMarcus Robinson, right? Was that his name? He was
Wandale.
Wandale Robinson.
Wandale.
Yeah, he was good
Tore
at the
his
start of
ACL,
the
though.
year. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's been the Giants' story for the past like 3 years. Like the Giants, specifically their receiving core, has been so injured and like serious injuries over the last 3
Yeah.
years. It seems like they're just like always like on their 3rd or 5th wide receiver as their starter.
Well, I think
It
DeAndre
sounds-
Hopkins is on the market, so you could
I
go
think
after
so
him.
too. Yo,
Yeah.
all right. Dable's gonna be like, all right, I got Josh Allen 2.0 here and Danny Dimes. I'm fucking bringing in
Oh,
D Hop.
God.
That's gonna be my Stephon Diggs. I'm bringing in D Hop, and we're gonna fucking go crazy. Danny Dimes is gonna be an MVP of this league, and we're gonna go win the Super Bowl. The defense in New
Maybe
York's
in
not
Madden.
Yeah, maybe in that. Yeah, but Jones could be a trash quarterback. I mean, Josh Allen might be a little too high, but
Yeah, but he might be like top half of the
Like,
league
how much better is Dak Prescott?
Not much.
marginally.
Yeah, it's not.
Honestly. Yeah.
That's drastic.
I think Dak's a little bit better of a thrower, but look at his decision making this year. It's fucking dookie.
totally.
I think Danny Dimes
Danny's
is a better
on the
runner.
ground. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe his decision making's better, but then again, he's been turnover prone for a while. But I feel like it's been fumble driven a lot with him. So if he can protect the ball, I don't know. How much better is Dak than Carson Wentz?
A lot better.
Why? Because Carson Wentz can't even hold a starting job against Taylor Heineke?
Or against who was his backup last year in Indy?
Matt Ryan?
No, but yeah, either way, yeah, he can't hold the starting job. So
Yeah, he's a bum. Well, no, Carson Wentz started the whole season because remember he had that fucking terrible game at the end of the year. They had to beat
Against Jacksonville.
the Jags, I thought it was. Yeah, they had to beat the Jags, and he literally shit the bed worse than anybody I've ever seen it. That's always been Carson Wentz, dude. Get him down a score, down 2 scores, that man's going to fold on the pressure.
Yep.
Every time, dude. He is literally so terrible whenever there's a little bit of adversity.
And he's like, it's not like he has like a good attitude about it and is bad. He's just like, his whole like mindset and just like the way he carries himself just goes down the drain.
He
You
just
can
tries
see
to
it in
force
his body
shit.
language. Yeah.
is that a Carson Wentz jersey you're rocking? Is that
No,
AJ Brown?
this is Jalen, baby.
Oh, it's a 1. I saw the 1. I wasn't sure if I saw a second one.
Johnny and
you
I
couldn't see me dead wearing a Carson Wentz Eagles
That's what I
jersey,
was
bro.
gonna say. You were kind of
Ripping them. I had to make sure.
I have a Carson Wentz jersey. I haven't worn it since he's left. I let Doobie wear it to a tailgate. That's it. He was nice, dude. Carson Wentz was good for a year. I was like, I'm getting this man's jersey. I'm gonna be Carson Wentz for Halloween.
Hey, that's right. He's right up your alley too.
Dude, he's got the ginger beard. I got the ginger beard. I was like, word, I'm gonna throw this fucking jersey on. I'm Carson Wentz.
Yeah, you could probably pull it off.
And I just snagged like the hat off his AO1 Foundation. I was like, all right, easy, dude. Carson Wentz, easy money. But now he's ass, and I just look at his jersey in my closet, and
At least he's ass and not a part of the Eagles, dude.
that's true. And we got good compensation back for him.
Great
Like the
compensation.
best compensation. Are you kidding me?
The goal.
Dude, the Colts got fucked around with the whole Carson Wentz thing because they didn't get shit from Washington for him.
No.
But like, I mean, I was excited about them last year because I was like, oh, they got Frank Reich, they got Wentz, maybe he can get resurrected.
They
Right?
can
They got
unlock him again.
JT, and then honestly, I thought the same thing this year. I thought they might be good, and their O line was like, oh, we're gonna go from the best O line in the league to literally bottom 5.
So they're a really weird thing to figure out because
Yeah, and then they brought in
they
Jeff
go
Saturday.
Yeah, Jeff Saturday.
Bold move, Cotton.
Apparently, he's in
Coaching high school
consideration.
football. Yeah, no, the odds if you look at it,
It's I think him
and Peyton Manning's low key pretty high on the.
favorites to land it too.
Apparently, they
I don't
brought
think
in
it'll
Jeff
happen, but-
Saturday. They brought in Jeff to try to get Peyton like back in the organization.
Mm.
I don't know if it'll happen with Peyton. I think he's like what's
I
like
think he's
what
kind of
doing.
just chilling. Yeah.
He's got his ESPN gig. He's got Peyton's places. Like
He's
hanging
doing
out.
well. Yeah, no stress.
Do you guys ever watch that ESPN the Monday night like podcast or
Manningcast?
yeah, the Manning cast? That's what it is.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times.
See, the first year of it, I watched it a couple times just because I wanted to see what they were doing. It was pretty funny how they bring on guests to watch
Watch it with them. It was a good idea.
Yeah,
And they
it
bring
is a
on
good
players
idea.
that played like the Sunday.
Sunday that week. I know, like I think Travis Kelce was on it, Josh Allen, and like talking about the game.
It was
Yeah,
kinda cool.
yeah,
But this
Hurts
year, I
was
didn't
on
think
there.
it was so much. Was he?
yeah. Hurts isn't great in those like situations because he's not like he hasn't done shit yet in the league. So when he was on New Heights, like the Kelsey Brothers podcast, he was like very reserved and just kind of like, yeah, like
That's
just
his
try-
mentality, though. And
I'm
that's what,
just
like, a lot of
squeezing
people
this
like
in.
about
Hurts.
yeah,
he's-
he's like I'm just squeezing this in between my after practice lift that I did by myself and film study. So like, I'm not really like all there to just like chill and hang the fuck out. But like when they had Pat Mahomes on, it was good. Like Pat Mahomes was chilling. He's like, whatever, I'm fucking MVP, Super Bowl MVP.
Chilling, yeah.
Like
fucking-
I'm enjoying myself. I'm cracking jokes. Like Jalen Hurts is like still has to prove it. And I love his mentality and I love his leadership. I mean, obviously I'm not there, but a lot of videos come out of like what he's doing in the locker room and stuff before and after games, and the team seems to love him. So I mean, I'm all about it. And his step from last year to this year, money,
Wild.
money, dude.
so
yeah.
good, dude.
Speaking of the Mahomes family, dude, isn't it wild that we haven't seen like a lick of Jackson or Brittany Mahomes like all year on social media or anything? Remember
Maybe
last
they
year
got
how
shadow
obnoxious
banned.
They were? Do you think?
I think
Pat
Pat
sat him
banned
down
them.
and was
He
like,
did.
"Yo, chill the fuck out."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
feel bad
probably
for that
would
guy.
have. Me too.
Yeah, I would have for sure. Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing dancing on? What did he do? Danced on Lawrence Taylor's like monument or something?
Oh,
Sean
yeah.
Taylor, yeah, he was doing it.
Brittany was like
Dancing
dumping
for-
water on fans' heads or some shit like that. It's like, bro, chill the fuck out. Your man's is making $500 million. Sit there and shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Clap and maybe do a little fist pump when he does well.
Just be the NPC fan in Madden when it pans over. Like the fans are just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, just
That's
just
all you
do
gotta
that.
do.
You're not the star of the show. I promise.
right.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of talk, especially with Juju going there too. That
The TikTok stars,
Oh,
Juju and
yeah.
Jackson
Mahomes
we're gonna collaborate a little
United.
bit, but good
I
thing we
haven't
didn't
seen
see any
shit.
of that.
I haven't seen shit about Juju either. He must have stopped dancing.
Yeah,
let's
Pat
see,
probably sat him down and was like, "Listen, I had this talk with my brother and my wife. I'm not going to do
I
it."
gotta have to.
My star receiver too. Not that he's a star, but close enough.
Yeah.
Ryan Clark gave Pat Mahomes the replacements award for 2022 because basically it doesn't matter who the fuck he's thrown to, and they're getting the ball. Like he's a stud. He's probably
Yeah.
gonna win MVP this year. And he doesn't have a top receiver. He has Travis Kelce, but he has no top receiver.
You know, I heard this thing that he's the oldest starting quarterback in the AFC in this entire playoff.
Pat Mahomes?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Pat Mahomes is the oldest quarterback starting in the AFC playoffs.
Yeah,
Wait,
I mean,
oh yeah, I was gonna say Tom Brady, but he's not in New England
yeah,
anymore.
I mean, yeah, dude, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence,
Yeah, they're all younger.
whoever the
it's
fuck is
crazy to
starting in
think that.
Baltimore, Huntley, maybe, right?
Or Lamar. Either way, I think Lamar's
Either
probably
way.
younger.
Joe Burrow, Skylar Thompson, and Josh Allen.
Yeah, even
I
if he
guess
was
the one
short.
exception
Oh,
would be
younger.
if Teddy starts.
Oh, yeah. I guess
Teddy's
so.
probably
But he's,
older.
I guess technically not the starter. So
No.
you can kind of like work your way around that.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. The AFC's in good hands.
For a
Kenny
while
Pickett.
too.
Kenny Pickett coming up next.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. He's not bad, dude. I like him. I snagged
No,
him on
he's
one of
not
my
great.
fantasy dynasty teams.
He's not great, but
I feel like he showed flashes, just like no consistency.
Yeah, I feel like he could take that step, but like obviously I think Jalen was a lot better in his first full season, but I think Kenny Pickett could definitely take that step that Jalen did this year, and like, you know, obviously not compete at an MVP level like Jalen did, but you know,
Yeah,
definitely get better.
I feel like he went to Pitt, right? Like I feel like you don't. No offense to Pitt, I feel like you don't play as good teams over there. Like I feel like their competition isn't as tough on a day in day out basis as like an SEC schedule
Alabama, Oklahoma State, like,
or a Big Ten schedule.
yeah.
It's really the SEC and the Big Ten are the only good conferences at this
it's
point.
just the SEC.
Ohio State can hold their own.
Yeah, but I think
They
that's the SEC.
they almost
Their
beat
kicker
Georgia. Yeah, they're gonna need to work on special teams. But I mean, all the Georgia fans now are like, "Oh, we're the fucking kings of college football."
Oh,
Well-
dude, let me say this. I cannot stand Stetson Bennett, bro. Why is he the most annoying player in college football? And I think it's just because of how old he is. I think that's why.
Yeah,
like,
that's the
dude's
only
my
reason.
age, and he's like fucking flexing on 18 and 19-year-olds. Like, bro, go to the league, do something with your life, get out of college.
It's like when the star wrestler beats the girl on the other team and then
Yeah,
celebrates.
bro.
It's like, all right,
Yeah.
tone it down.
Calm it down a little bit, bud.
No, I agree. Stetson Bennett, he's annoying, but I think it's because he's old, and because, I mean, I don't know, nothing's ever even going to come of him. This is going to be like the end of his career.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
He'll
guess,
get
but,
drafted.
like,
He'll get drafted in like the 4th to the 6th or the 7th.
Yeah, you're not gonna really pick on him.
Nah, he'll be a backup or a third string somewhere, and then he'll try to develop for a couple years, and then his team will suck, and they'll draft a first round quarterback, and that'll be the end of him.
could you imagine if he just like turns out to be the next Tom Brady?
Maybe he will.
From like 26 to like 47, it's just Stetson Bennett, 12 rings, fucking.
Just make sure you go back and delete this podcast.
Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah.
Nobody listening to this.
Get this off the
Yeah.
record. Don't want this out there.
It's not even like a tweet where you can like search through them. It's like, in 25 years, Kenny, remember this on this podcast?
49 and a half minutes in.
On a Thursday
Yeah.
night.
Yeah,
Wednesday night.
You remember this podcast you did in fucking your second one in 2023 and around the 50-minute mark? You were shitting on Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett.
What do you have to say for yourself now? Well, I guess I was wrong. Good shit, dude.
At that point, we're like 3,000 episodes deep into the show. Still the same amount of viewers. Like,
How long have you guys been doing this?
A couple years.
yeah, like 2
Really
years
like
now.
a year and a half ish. We're on,
Yeah.
this is episode 89, dude. We're approaching
Oh,
100.
89. Nice. You've
Not too
guessed on
bad.
Austin?
I mean,
Huh?
we've tried to.
You've
Go ahead.
guessed on Austin for it?
Nah, we've had a couple, but usually we just like interview our guests, and I was just like, well, I mean, I just want to talk shit with Owen. I'm not going to interview him. But we had Shane on, and he's just a crazy character.
Yeah, Shane was fun. He was our first guest, wasn't he? We
Yeah, I
had
think so.
Reed
Actually,
on.
oh yeah, we had Reed on, and he does a
makes
bunch of cool
music.
shit. He makes
Yeah.
music, yeah. He released a record or an album last year, so we had him on like the month before it came out. And then we had Emery on for shits and gigs.
All right.
But
Yeah,
most of the time it's just
pretty
us
good
fucking
ones.
off.
You know, you get some inside insight. So it's
Yeah.
actually, college football person. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We started like we've been trying to start a podcast for like as long as I could remember, and like we would do like little shit here and there, and then I don't know,
Yeah,
we just kind of like got our shit together one day and was like, all right, fucking, let's just do this and stick with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just do it every week now.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing is just like doing it and putting the content out, and like we're not very good at it.
Yeah, we're not very good at being like prevalent on social media, but
Nah.
we're good at sitting down and bullshitting for 2 hours
Yeah.
every Wednesday night and posting that.
Just need to like be able to chop it up and get some clips. And I feel like just get some clips out on fucking Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, and then mad people will see it. And he's like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that could be the inspiration behind it, really. Like, you got a ton of podcasts that are blowing up recently.
Yeah.
You know, like anything such as, I don't know, like, you got the Brilliantly Dumb guy. He's all over, all the golf media now. You got, like, Full Sends, just stuff like that. I mean, how millions of people listen to Joe Rogan on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
he talks shit, too. Like, that's all he guy's doing.
Dude, I was actually listening to a Barstool podcast today, and like they're talking about like how like when you post your podcast, it's like under a topic. But he's like, I think it was Big Cat. He was like, when was the last time you listened to a podcast about a topic? Like all the podcasts that I'm on and I listen to is all just like bullshitting. Like we don't have a topic. We just fucking it's just three or four people sitting there talking to each other. There's never like a singular. I mean, there's like sports talk shows and stuff like that, but like to have like a topic is like, oh, we're a comedy podcast, or like it's like not like no real big podcast really have like a specific topic anymore.
Nah, well, yeah,
really.
Yeah, I mean there are some big ones that have topics, but even those all range.
But like, what do you think Joe Rogan's like would make his topic as his podcast? You know what I mean?
Well, he's like, you know, a special occasion or a special situation where he is just like a, you know, the biggest interviewer in the world and just gets.
Yeah.
He's not like, oh, this is what I do. He's like, oh, I interview everybody that does everything.
Yeah,
I interview the best person at everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but then he also has a lot of episodes of just like returning guests, and it's just him bullshitting.
Yeah. But still, even a lot of those are like people that are the best in their fields, right? Like think about it. Like even when he's like shooting the shit with his guests, it's like they're all some of like the top comedics or comics in the world. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love the one where they have like the 4 comedians on. So like Park.
Yeah.
I listen to that one.
I always listen to that one when they post it.
It's hilarious. They're on there
getting hammered and just talking shit.
Yeah. Dude, and it's like, but they're still like the best like comedians in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Or he has
Outside
like
of us three.
That's true. But then he has like David Goggins on, who's like, you know, the baddest motherfucker in the world. Right? Like he has him on all the time. And then he has like there's this one dude from the CIA. He had one episode I really liked. I think it's like Tim Baker or something. Baker.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
And he's like, you know, one of the best like intelligence guys in the world. Except for the Taliban, they're pretty nice with it.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear? The FAA, like the people that run the flights in America, they like grounded all flights.
All flights.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, their system that like tracks flights and shit went down. They're like, all right, nobody can fly, and they're like, no, we didn't get hacked for sure. We didn't get hacked, but we don't know what caused it.
Yeah, China's up to something, or Russia.
Yeah,
something's going on there.
Somebody's up to something.
They're like, sorry guys, we woke up and turned it on, and we had a 56 gigabyte update. like the fucking Xbox.
Yeah, whose job is that?
Yeah, he signs in, sits down in his office chair, like, oh shit.
Yeah, right.
System update on my flight simulator. It's gonna be a minute.
That's crazy though. All flights in an entire country, like that's insane.
Yeah. Well, I'm flying to San Diego in 2 days, so Lex like told me, and I was like, oh shit. So I looked it up, and then they already like resumed flights this morning. And I was like, whew. Hopefully shit's like back to the way it needs to be on Friday and they don't fuck it up again.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine the flights that were like up in the air when that shit happened. Like,
yeah,
they probably just fell from the sky.
Yeah, good luck.
Could you imagine there's just a day that has like 45 airplanes across the country just falling out of the sky and like landing on people's homes and buildings and shit?
That'd be horrific.
Yeah,
that'd be one of the deadliest days.
Yeah, I think other than like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it might be number 2.
I saw this thing. It was Theo Von, and he was like, "I used to have this joke, or this pickup line. Like, it's pretty fucked up now that I think about it." He's like, how about, you know, we do like Hiroshima, and you know, I'll lay down and you'll blow me. That's it. That's his whole joke. And he's like so ashamed to even say that was his pickup line back in the day.
Might have worked.
Dude, he's a funny motherfucker. I haven't heard a single thing come out of his mouth that's not funny.
Nope. Everything he says is funny.
Yes.
It's like wild shit too, it says.
I know.
Yeah, I just want to understand how his brain like comes up with the words to say it like in the sequence that he says it. Like he just thinks up the most wildest shit that makes the most sense, but it's also like the most absurd.
Yeah, like some of his comparisons, like I don't know, just like the adjectives that he used to describe things. I'm like, spot on. But how the fuck did you get that?
Dude, there was one I saw on TikTok, and he was talking. I forget what podcast he was on exactly, but he said something like, "What was it?" Oh, he was like, "Well, with my luck, it could be raining titties, and I'd still look up and catch a dick in my mouth."
I get it.
What the hell? Yeah. It makes so much sense, dude. It's like, yeah. Oh, man. Speaking of comics, you know Andrew Santino?
Yeah, no.
He's the ginger guy from Dave.
Yeah.
He has a new stand-up on Netflix that just came out the other day, dude, and I watched it last night, and it had me fucking crying laughing, bro. Money. It's so funny, dude. He's like one of my favorite comics right now. It's like just came out of nowhere. Saw him on Dave, and then like I think it's his second Netflix special, but it's
I never
so
seen.
good, dude.
I never seen his stand-up.
Yeah, you should get baked and watch it sometime. It's funny.
All right, don't tempt me
Yeah,
with a
I'm
good
just
time.
actually starting to get into comedy. Like I never really watched like specials on Netflix or things like that. So like over the last couple of months, I've started, and I realized what I was missing. Like it's just,
Dude, it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. If you find like a guy that you like and is like good, and he can just like keep you laughing for the whole time, it's like Bill Burr, dude. He's one of those guys that
Bill
just
Burr's
has
the
me.
best.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
he's fucking hilarious. Him and Dave Chappelle and Pete Davidson are probably my 3 favorite comics.
I haven't listened to any.
Pete Davidson.
No, I haven't
Pete
seen
Davidson's
his
got
I
some
think
good
I hate the
stand-up.
guy.
His stand up in New York on Netflix is really fucking funny. He's just like right after him and Ariana Grande broke up, and he's just like, it's not even like I don't even think it was like a planned event. Like I think like a few days before he was just like gonna be in New York for some stand up and filming it. So like people just showed up, and he just stood up there and talked for like an hour, and it was, dude, it's so good. He's just got like that dry, self-deprecating humor that I love, dude. It's so funny.
big self-deprecator.
I have to try that.
Not stand-up, but have you seen Jeff Dunham?
Oh yeah, I used to watch that when I was like 12.
Same, dude. When we were younger, me and Cassandra and Alyssa all got Jeff Dunham tickets for Christmas one year.
Oh shit.
But me and Lex were looking for shit to watch, and I saw Jeff Dunham Christmas special. I'm like, all right, bet, let's watch this. And like, she's half asleep, and I'm watching it. I'm laughing. I'm like, bro, you can't say some of this stuff today. It's a little racy out here.
Yeah, dude. Ahmed, the dead terrorist? Are you kidding me?
That's the guy with the puppets, right?
Yeah, the
That's
ventriloquist. Yeah.
Yeah, ventriloquist. There we go.
Yeah, dude, it's funny that like Daniel Tosh, if you go back and watch some of his stand-ups, bro,
yeah.
it has some racy stuff nowadays, but it's good stuff. It's funny, dude.
Tosh Point was fucking funny, and like that was, he was treading a very thin line there as well.
Yeah, that's just been like the epitome of his comedy career too. Like he's always been that kind of comic. But his stand-ups
are a comedian though. Like you can't fear getting canceled or anything. You have to almost cross that line.
Yeah, you got to lean into it.
Well, the Andrew Santino one, he talks about it. He's like, I'm up here telling the story. You guys are the ones painting the picture in your mind. So it's like, you can't come up here and not be afraid to say anything. Like, I'm just going to say it. Like, we all agree to come into this room at this time. And he goes up to this guy. He goes, what's your name? He goes, Mike. And he goes, hey, Mike. And just like pretends to jerk off on him. And everyone laughs. And he goes, see? If I did that outside on the street, you guys would think I'm nuts. But since we all agreed to do this in this room, like, he's like, it's different than like being outside and being in the real world. Like, you can't take comics like serious for what they say because everything's a joke. I was like, that's a good way to look at it.
And even if I knew it was him in the streets and he fucking ran up to me and did that, I would be like, all right, Andrew, like, you're pretty fucking, what's that all about, brother? But like, again, like, it's not like he's like a random crackhead running up to me. Like if it was, famous,
that would be scary.
I'd be like, this is uncomfortable. What's good with you? But yeah, when you're in a show, it's like, no, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to think about it that way. It's like, oh, we all agreed to be in this one room behind closed doors, and I stand up in front of you and say these things, and you guys all laugh. And if I were saying these things at work or like in a restaurant or anything outside of this room, like it would obviously be frowned upon, but
you'd be fired.
It's like that. Yeah, that's why like people that like go into comedy shows and like get disgusted and like write blogs about it being disgusting. It's like, why are you coming to a comedy show expecting to hear like rational thoughts, dude? It's supposed to be funny and like a joke. That's the whole thing.
I see so many little stand-up bits on my Instagram reels, dude, and that's like my favorite thing about Instagram.
Yeah, that's a lot of my Instagram now too.
I saw one the other day. It was this guy talking about his ex-girlfriend. He was like, I used to play a lot of video games and stuff, and my ex would come home and she'd be like, wow, wow,
I saw
like,
that one.
you're
I
still
saw
on
that
this
one.
game, blah blah blah. And then he's like, what's so wrong with that? What's wrong with, a man having a little like creativity, a little imagination? Like what's wrong with having a fantasy world? Like when did that become a bad thing? He was like, at least when I'm done with the game, and I'm not a 6'5" NBA All-Star anymore, I go back into reality, right? Like I know what I'm doing. He's like, you put all this fucking makeup on, become a whole new person, and you bring that out into the world. And then you receive compliments from people. They tell you how beautiful you are, and you say thank you, and it's all fucking fantasy. That's not what you look like. I was cracking up. I was like, bro, you are not wrong, my guy.
He was like, he's like, I don't walk past you room when you're putting makeup on and be like, wow, you're just gonna wear all this makeup and be fake, huh? That's all you want to do?
I think there's
Yeah,
a
that
reason
one
that's
was
his
good.
ex now.
Yeah, yeah, because of shit like that.
That might have been the start of the end.
Hey, it makes for a good joke though, so
Yeah, worth it.
helping his career out.
All's well that ends well. And dude, it got him a shit ton of views on Instagram.
My favorite is when they do like crowd work, like on TikTok or like the reels, and it's just like somebody chirps them and like obviously they chirp back and they just dude, you got to be an idiot to be good at a comedy show and think you can like outsmart a comedian. Like you got to be a fucking asshole to think you can say something funnier than the guy whose job it is to say funny things. You know what I mean?
I saw a really good one the other day, or like probably like a week ago, and I can't fucking remember it at all. But it was just like, this guy was just like, is this guy fucking serious right now? Like, is he serious? And everyone in the crowd was just like, you need to just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being in a situation where I'm like at a comedy show with like say 200 people around me, and I like blurt out in the middle of a show to say something, and then like everybody in the room instantly like looks at you and like turns on you, and it's like 200 to 1. Like that sounds like something I don't want to put myself in.
Yeah.
I don't care how funny I think my comment might be. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut and laugh if it's funny.
Yeah, not worth it.
Bert Kreischer was on the Green Light Pod. I listened to that episode a few weeks ago, and he was like, they were talking about a show that he did in Williamstown where Chris Long lives, and there was like just one dude that was like being super rowdy. He was like, yeah, I thought that the ushers were gonna come and fucking kick him out, but they weren't like real ushers. They were just fucking old, frail people. They just walked down the aisle, looked at him, and turned around and went back. And like he was just, I don't remember what the guy said, but I was cracking the fuck up. And Bert's like, dude, that's the most absurd thing that has ever happened. That was right here in fucking Williamstown.
That's funny.
I mean,
Bert's funny too. I like Bert.
Yeah, his podcast with Tom Segura is great.
Those two are funny as fuck. I know. I need to listen to more like pleasure podcasts like that. I don't know. I don't really listen to a whole lot anymore.
Oh, dude, that's all I watch when I'm like working. Like I'll just sit on my couch or at my desk and throw up a podcast while I work. Today I watched Lex. You know who Mr. Beast is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a Lex Friedman podcast with him, and it was just like a 3-hour interview of like about what he does on YouTube and like how he goes about like running his businesses and stuff like that. And it was super interesting. Mr. Beast, Kenny, is like the most subscribed YouTube guy. Like I think he has got like 125 million subscribers. And he's like all those videos you see of like, we made, if you stay in the circle for 100 days, I'll give you like $10 million or something like that. Like he's just like filthy rich and just gives away all of his money. Yeah, and then he makes it back in his YouTube videos because he gets like 500 million views on every video. It's insane.
But he didn't do his like story behind it, like how he started.
He was just like, dude, he used to just be like a Minecraft gamer when he was like 13 or 14. He's only 24 years old, which is insane.
Okay.
But yeah, he was just like, dude, I was just like always interested in like being an entrepreneur and like building a business, and I started making these YouTube videos, and I found out the best way to like make money and like be successful on YouTube is just to make really good videos. It's not the way you advertise it or anything like that. He's like, I just put all my effort into making the best videos, and that's just been my like plan, like my business plan the whole time. And now he's branched out. He has like Mr. Beast Burger, and like he has like 7 or 8 different companies now just based off of being this guy who gives away a fuck ton of money at all times.
Just a YouTuber.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then he was like, what is your plan? Like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? And he was like, dude, I'm already here. Like, this is my end goal. Like, I'm already doing what I want to do. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a very successful YouTube business. I make awesome videos for a lot of people. Like, I'm leaving, I'm giving away all this money to people. So I'm leaving like a positive impact on the world. He's like, there's not much else that I can do, like, past what I've wanted to do. So I'm
if you go back 5 years ago, of like in his wildest dreams thought that he'd be where he's at now.
Yeah.
Right. It's crazy.
Crazy girl.
I want to run into Mr. Beast one day and just be like, "Yo, can I be in one of your videos?" Because I know he'll say yes. He's always
Yeah,
looking
like-
for
just get
content.
the
like a porn
chance at
shoot?
making millions. I don't think that's the videos he's talking about, but
Well, he says he's got 7 businesses. Yo, Mr. Beast OnlyFans.
There's
Mr.
one
Bestiality.
There's one video where it's like a pallet of like, I think it's like $1 million, but it's all in cash. And there's like 8 or 9 people, and you have to hold your hand on the pallet, and the last one to take their hand off, or the last one to have their hand still on the pallet wins the money.
Yeah.
And it goes on for like 16 or 17 hours like that, and like it's crazy because it starts to get like psychological after a while, where people like, you know, they don't even think about having their hand on the pallet anymore, so they just like go to like itch their face, and then it's like, oh, you took your hand off, and people are just like, you know what I mean? And then there's one guy who like at the end of it just gets like $5 million, and his life has changed.
Mhm.
And it's just
Not
like that's
bad.
like every Mr. Beast video. It's crazy.
he pops up on my Snapchat a lot. Like
Yeah.
just scrolling through, and I'll watch like one of his like couple-minute clips of like these crazy contests that he's got, or like these
Yeah.
crazy like contraptions that he puts together. And it's pretty entertaining.
Like not every video is a contest like that. He also just makes like super interesting, like, oh, we stayed on a deserted island for 24 hours.
Yeah.
This is what happened.
One of them, he was like living underwater. Like he had to see how long he would
Yeah.
stay underwater.
Yeah.
It was like just the wildest thing to watch for a couple minutes.
Just
Yeah.
as he'd spend,
That's
like,
what I'm
a whole
saying. And
day.
dude, he's just like, I just make good videos. Like, I don't have any crazy plan. I don't have any crazy, like, scheme or anything. Like, I don't, like, try to generate subscribers. He's like, I just make really good videos that people, like, are interested in watching. And that's, like, the best way to go about it. It's like, it makes sense on, like, the most basic level.
Yeah. Maybe that's something we should do.
That's what we're doing now, bro. What do you mean?
We're barely putting anything out on YouTube.
Start somewhere.
We're starting with the audio files on on Apple Podcasts. We'll get there.
Hey, we're on Spotify and Amazon too. Don't sleep.
That's true. That's true. Did we ever look at our Spotify Wrapped for this year or no?
Nah. You want me to?
Yeah.
All right, but not right now.
Okay, we'll do it after this episode because this episode's gonna get thousands of views anyway.
Probably. O-Dawg brings a large audience.
We're gonna get
Yeah.
mainstream right here. Where you guys blow up.
Yeah, dude. Let's fucking do it.
Could you imagine we wake up tomorrow or like the day after, we just got like 30,000 hits on this episode? Comment section going crazy. Let's go, Owen!
That would be awesome, dude.
You guys might have to bring me back once in a while.
I mean, yeah, I'm all about it. I want to see, like, look at our things, see how we're doing.
What, our analytics?
Yeah, I feel like we were doing pretty well, but then I stopped looking.
We had like 5 or 6 episodes there that had over like 1,000 downloads.
Really? Oh, that's
Yeah,
solid.
we had a few of them that were like pretty solid. I like how it shows you like the map of like the world too, where it shows you where everybody's listening from.
Yeah, dude, we
People
got
from like Israel.
220. Our 5th most popular city is Brussels in Belgium.
That's all
200.
bots. All Belgian bots.
It
It
might
has
be.
to be. It has to be.
No, I think one of the dudes in our fantasy league is from Belgium.
Interesting.
Oh, in our random roommates league,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, episode 78 is our most downloaded from this September NFL Week 1 with over 1,500 downloads.
All right.
Not bad. Not bad.
No.
Yeah, not bad at
not
all.
bad.
What's our last like 2 or 3 episodes looking like?
Let me see. If
I
could,
mean, they're
like,
newer,
sort
so they haven't been out as long, but
I don't know how to like filter these by the opposite way. In the last 30 days, we only have 411 downloads. I don't
it's
know how
still
to
not
see like
bad,
our
like,
last
compared
few.
to our average.
Yeah, I think about 30 days. That's only. What do you guys do? One a week usually?
Yeah, we do 1 a week.
Yeah.
We used to cut it up, but it's just
Yeah, we
I don't
used
know.
to do 2 a week, but it was like, all right, we're gonna do an hour plus on one day and then an hour plus on another day. But we used to record it all at the same time.
Oh,
But then
chop up
like
one
we would
person.
record on Wednesday and like or Thursday, right? and then that episode would drop like the following week. So we were like, oh, like what'd you do this weekend? But it was actually 2 weekends ago, and it was all fucked up. So then we were like, yeah, let's just go back. We'll just make it one big episode, and whatever. If people want to listen to it, they'll listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to fucking sort this by what's it called? Episode. One of these days I'll figure it out.
What do you got on the dock? I know you're talking about your mini dock that you made.
Let me find it. I got the rest of the NFL, dude. Eagles struggled against the Giants, so they got a win though. Lock up the 1 seed. Falcons beat the Bucks. The Bucks are the only team with a losing record in the playoffs.
Hell yeah.
Teams with no coaches. We got the Cardinals, who have interest in Sean Payton, just like every other fucking team.
The Cardinals fired Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah, they fired him and their GM.
Yeah, they gave him the axe. Rightfully so.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Apparently him and Kyler had beef. Which, dude, when I was at Waldo's, we had the Hard Knocks on the one day. We watched like one episode, and after one of their games, like, Cliff Kingsbury was like, oh, like, he basically was like, you see what happens when you don't suck? Like, he was like, yeah, like, you finally had a good one. And it's like, that's not really how you...
He said that to Kyler?
Yeah, when they were on the field post-game, like, walking off the field. Like, dude, that's not how you instill confidence and, like, build, like, a good relationship with your quarterback by pretty much saying, like, you had one good game.
Right.
But
yeah, not ideal.
No. And, well, yeah, he got the axe. So they're head coachless. The Broncos, Sean Payton's their number 1, shocker, and then it's Jim Harbaugh right behind that. The Texans, the Panthers, and the Colts, and they haven't really disclosed who they're interested in, but
I saw Kellen Moore interviewed. I think it was for Carolina. Or they expressed interest at least. I don't know about interviews yet.
Yeah. I know the Texans, Panthers, and Colts, they all requested to interview Shane Steichen, the Eagles OC, and the Texans requested to interview Jonathan Gannon, their DC.
Okay.
And I think Gannon interviewed with them last year too, the Texans. And I think he has a good relationship with their GM. So I honestly wouldn't be too surprised to see Gannon leaving Philly and going to Houston. But somebody ran a poll. No, somebody ran a poll and it was like, would you be upset like if, Gannon left? And it was like 80-something% no. And this is like a Philadelphia-based poll, like all Birds fans. Yeah. I don't think he's a very good defensive coordinator.
He's not the reason our defense is good.
No, our defense is good because Howie Roseman fucking stacked it.
Yeah.
Like
I think you wanted to fire him a couple years ago too.
I know, dude. This offseason was one of the best that any GM's ever had. Like the names that he brought in, like, dude, Hassan Reddick, Kaiser White, CJ Gardner Johnson,
Slay very recently.
But AJ Brown this year.
Yeah,
and then Jordan Davis and the Kobe Dean, and there is an offensive lineman in the draft. Like, dude, it was just so good. Like, it was just such a good offseason for him. I'm like, all right, Howie, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
and then
it makes life easy for Jalen Hurts. That's the only thing
I know.
I'm kind of hesitant on, saying he's elite.
Yeah, I don't know. But like, look at Gardner Minshew. He wasn't very good. He was decent against the Cowboys. He threw some picks, but he was decent against the Cowboys. They put up good points, but he was bad in his second game against the Saints. He was really bad against the Saints. I was at that game. I was sitting in row 7, and he was really bad. But also No Lane Johnson and Cam Jordan was eaten on the backup right tackle. I don't even know who was in, but he was eaten. But it was nice to
Lane
see.
Johnson's a big part of the team.
He is.
And that's why to play a playoff game.
I know, and that's why getting the 1 seed was so important.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because it's possible we get the Cowboys, right? Like, I think we're either going to get the Cowboys. It's either going to be Cowboys, Bucks, or the Giants.
Yeah, I don't think
Seattle wins. I don't think Seattle wins either. But the way it works is the Eagles will play the lowest seed. So if the Giants win, we're going to play them. If the Cowboys win and the Giants lose, we'll play the Cowboys. And then if not, we'll play the Bucks. So it's going to be one of those 3. I hope it's the Giants, and I think it can be.
You better hope they win.
I mean,
So really just pull for Seattle, actually. That's your best bet.
yeah, that's true. Seattle's not great. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they snuck in with the 7 seed. Seattle winning, best case scenario, because we play Seattle and we don't have to play San Fran ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Like that would be best case scenario. Let's make that happen. That's what I'm rooting for.
At the end of the day, if you don't make the Super Bowl, I think it's just a huge disappointment. Like, you'll never have an NFC set up better.
I think it could definitely be set up better. I
Kidding
don't
me?
know.
Brock Purdy's the 2 seed, Kirk Cousins is the 3 seed, and
Yeah, that's
8
true.
Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Geno Smith and Danny Dimes, like,
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, Philly's a good team. So that's what it comes down to.
It's really just us and the
competition
Niners.
is terrible.
Like, say what you want about Brock Purdy, he's it's not
He's
like they've
good.
been losing
I mean,
games
he's
with
been-
him.
Yeah.
There's a
He's
reason
been
that
lighting it up, but
there's a reason that the Eagles had to win in Week 18 to keep the 1 seed. You know what I mean? But we should probably beat them too. Their defense is really good. I don't know. That would be a really good game. I'd really enjoy that. I think that would be an awesome NFC Championship game. I think.
Yeah, that if that's the NFC Championship game, and then we get Chiefs Bills in the AFC Championship game, dude.
Or I think for me, the only 5 real contenders is Eagles, Niners, and then Chiefs, Bills, Bengals.
Yeah.
I think like any
that's
combination,
popular 5.
any combination of those 5 in the championship games would be great, and then obviously any combo of those 5 in the Super Bowl will be awesome.
I think it's gonna be.
Sleeping
I
on
think that's
Dallas?
probably how it's gonna end up.
Yeah, I'll gladly sleep on Dallas until they can make it, past the divisional round, which they haven't
Dude,
done since I was born.
I sleep soundly on Dallas.
Yep.
Get a
Yep.
nice 8 hours when talking about Dallas.
Yep. I'm
8
waking up
hours
fully
with
rested.
no grogginess. Yeah.
Nope. I don't even need a nap.
I don't even need a nap, and I'm a big nap guy. That's how much I sleep on Dallas.
They'll probably lose to Tampa.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I love Dallas to let their player or their fans down, right? Like every single year,
Yeah.
every single year in the offseason, they're so good on paper. They're winning the Super Bowl. And even this year, dude, I've been hearing for the past 2 days, Frank Isolo on Part of the Interruptions, like, Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. Like, look at this fucking path that they got. They got to play Tom Brady and the Bucks, who are 8-9, right? Like, then they got to play, like, a bad Eagles team, like, who's not clicking like they were to be middle of the season, right? Like, they're cruising. They're going to the Super Bowl. And I'm just like,
I mean, you can paint the picture. You can set it up that way.
yeah, you can paint the picture, but you also need to consider that Dak's going to throw 2 picks a game, and Zeke is nothing like he used to be. But Tony Pollard's pretty legit. And Trayvon Diggs might get an interception, but he's also probably going to give up a 75-yard touchdown on a double move.
Yeah.
I just love shitting on the Cowboys. The only Cowboy that I have any respect for, well, I don't know if that's true. I might respect a few of them. The only one that I'm like, yeah, this is like a solid player, like snap in and snap out, is Micah Parsons.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
And honestly, like a couple years ago, Leighton Vander Esch, I thought he was like really solid, pretty much on every play. I always thought he was good.
I've always liked CeeDee Lamb. I think he gets a lot of hate.
Yeah, he does. He definitely has impressed me this season. I didn't think he was going to be as good as he was this year.
He proved he's number 1.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper and with him.
Yep. I think he's got a great career ahead of him. My one dynasty team is money at wide receiver. I got like CeeDee Lamb and Devonta Smith holding it down. I got Treylon Burks on the bench. I got Drake London. I got Jahan Dotson. And then I also have like Cortland Sutton, who's kind of getting old. I might see if I could trade him, get a little younger. But CeeDee Lamb and Devonta with like a few good supporting pieces.
Devonta's tricky though. He puts up some duds with
Yeah.
AJ Brown and Goddard around stealing targets from him.
Yeah, I know. The second half of this season, he was good. He's like 4 or 5 catches a game, and like that's fine with me, dude. Even if you're not going to get a touchdown, 4 or 5 catches is going to get you. You're looking at like 8 yards a catch. That's enough fantasy points for me. That's what I need out of a wide receiver too. Especially if CeeDee Lamb's doing his thing.
Oh, who you're talking about, Devonta?
Yeah.
Dude, he's had like 3 or 4 like 100-yard games in the past like 6 or 7.
Yeah, he finished really strong.
Yeah.
But he does have some duds like week 1 and I think maybe week 2 as well. He was not very good.
Yeah.
Because I started him with much higher hopes.
It just takes him it took him a little bit to get rolling, but once he did get rolling, dude, it's like him and AJ Brown. People talk about Jalen Waddle and Tyreek and all these other duos in the
Yeah.
league, but AJ Brown and fucking Devonta Smith, super slept on duo in the league.
Super
dude.
slept on. Yeah. I don't know, dude. The Eagles got a low key scary like skill group, but also it's like who's hitting because Miles Sanders like he's a good running back, but he's not like 100%. Like he's not like a stud every week. You know what I mean? Like he has
Right.
off weeks now and again. So it's like is Boston Scott going that week? Is Kenny G gonna get in the end zone? I like Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah, I think he's a good third guy on the depth chart, but
Yeah.
Raggy.
However, either he comes back or he's got shit to do and he doesn't. But either way, Kenny G gonna get his. He gonna get his more than he gets got.
Get his. Because he can't get God if he get his though.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And then also on here we got. You want to like roll through some of these wild card games?
Yeah, about it.
I will. I'm gonna pull up the FanDuel odds as well. I threw a little money on the Niners to win the NFC this year. Yeah, so we got first game of the week is Seahawks Niners. Niners, dude, 9.5 point favorites. Yeah, I think they're gonna win. Chargers and Jags. That's in Jacksonville. The Chargers are 2.5 point favorites.
See, I get why the Chargers are favorites, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Jags steal that game.
Yeah, I mean the Jags are only plus 114. I'm honestly surprised that it's like I was expecting it to be like a 1 point game, like a 1 point favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, dude, Dolphins Bills. Bills are 13.5 point favorites. That's gonna be a blowout. No Tua, no Teddy. We got Owen back. Let's get his bitch ass in here. Welcome back, King.
Just great podcasting, you know. This is what gets all the views.
Just not like disconnecting mid-session.
No, it'll bring in more views because then they'll leave and then they'll come back and we'll get like double hit. I don't know. We're just rolling through these fucking wild card games. If you didn't miss anything good, what do you think about Chargers Jags? Chargers are 2.5 point favorites right now on FanDuel.
So I was looking over all the games and I was thinking about mentioning this on here.
And like my lock of the week, hot take.
Chargers have always burned me in the past and just perennially underachieved. There's no doubt in my mind they win that game. No doubt. Chargers roll.
That's interesting.
Roll, like that's my take of the week.
The team that always burns you is your lock of the week.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is originally when I was looking through, like I also liked Minnesota.
But I was like, I can't do it with Kirk Cousins.
Justin Herbert's just a little bit more reliable than Kirk Cousins. So Chargers
but not this year. Mike Williams is hurt. He might not be 100%. I don't know.
Mike Williams is never 100%. Dude.
That's true. No. That's true. My lock of the week is the Bills.
Yeah, well.
At the 13-point favorite.
Yeah, that's right.
Going up too, to be honest with you.
It's
that
gonna.
His way.
It's
like
gonna.
16, honestly, even though it's a playoff game, like Skylar Thompson, that's a bad idea.
We got Giants Vikings. Vikings are 3-point favorites. It's a 4:31 game, so it's not prime time.
4:31.
It's not 1 o'clock.
Nah, the Bills are 1 o'clock. I don't know, dude. I can see the Giants winning that game.
I could too. I think that's more of just like a toss-up 50-50 of what offense is clicking that day and
where the ball falls.
That could be a game-winning field goal for either team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like it's only a field goal difference.
That's what it was the first time they played too.
Yeah. Ravens Bengals 8.5 point favorites, dude. They're gonna win if there's no Lamar. It's just that simple. They can't put up points, dude. Yeah. They're averaging 13 points a game without Lamar this year. That's just not gonna get it done. Not against the Bengals.
I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was watching the Ravens game, and I think it might have been Devin Duvernay called a touchdown pass, and it was the first touchdown from a wide receiver since like week 6.
Jeez,
Yeah,
that's
I was
bad.
like, what? Well, even with like Lamar when he was healthy for the few weeks after that, I was like, damn, dude, they need to get that man some help in the air. They got nothing.
Nah, I don't know, dude. They got Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, so maybe they're
And
good.
Deshaun Jackson.
Well, they
Oh,
actually cut
God.
him, so
Oh,
Did they
did cut
really?
him?
Damn.
yeah, they released him, so no more Deshaun, but they had him for a second.
Yeah, too long. That 1 second was one too many.
And then on Monday night, we got the boys heading to Tampa, and the Cowboys are 2.5-point favorites.
Is there no Sunday night game?
The Ravens Bengals is Sunday night.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so we got Saturday at 4:30 and 8:15, and then Sunday 4:30, 8:15, and then Monday night. Which is nice, because it's only one game at a time. I don't have to fucking go cross-eyed to watch games.
Yeah, facts. Burn brain cells watching Red Zone every week.
Oh, I love it, though.
Me
I
too.
know.
Scott
Dude, it's
Hansen
the
just hits
best.
different on a Sunday afternoon.
Scott Hansen does things for me that nobody else does, dude. I will say that.
It's crazy because, like, he's solid, but he's not great. Like, he
Scott
says wrong.
Hansen?
Yeah, he says, like, the wrong thing, like, a bunch of times.
Yeah,
Like,
but like, this dude, he's got fucking 15 games going on at
Dude,
one time.
The
Give
guy
the
hasn't
man a
taken
break.
a piss break in like 8 years.
Yeah.
The dude's a legend.
That's fair. That's
I'd be
fair.
saying shit wrong all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yo, he don't have to take a leak.
I don't know what the
Maybe
rumors
he-
are,
maybe
but
he
just
wears a
doesn't use that
catheter.
gas.
Maybe he's got,
That
like, a
is,
huge...
I never thought about
He's got a
that,
huge
dude.
stretched out pee hole, and he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a catheter for the day.
Bro, what if he has to take, like, what if he gets the shits, like, mid-show and just is like, I cannot hold this, I need to
probably
shit
just-
my pants.
He just probably let it out.
Yeah, he's gotta get like a toilet behind him, so you can just like not leave the stand.
Maybe he is just sitting on a toilet the whole time. We have no idea.
Yeah, but it's like a real tall toilet because it looks like he's standing.
Yeah.
So he's got this
Yeah.
fucking 4-foot tall toilet, and then he just fucking the witching
Stands up
hour.
The witching hour.
Cut my mic.
Maybe the witching hour doesn't mean what it actually means. Maybe that just means he's ready to take a shit.
Yeah, it's the witching hour. So if we can get some excitement here, I gotta go run to the bathroom.
Yeah. I'm just gonna let the game speak for themselves. And then he goes and takes a
Yeah,
shit.
I mean he's not talking all the time. You know what I mean?
No, that's true. Yeah.
But I'd
'Cause he
take
does cut
long.
into announcers.
I'd take long dumps.
I take longer pisses too that are like, longer than what it takes for him to not talk.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
All right, Scott, you got an 8-second window to squeeze it out. Just super blast. His dick turns into a super soaker.
And he's pumping it. Oh no, then he'd be jerking off. You can't do that. You can't be doing that at work.
Imagine if you had to jerk your pee out.
That'd be terrible.
Like a super
You'd have
soaker?
so many pervs that fucking work, or just like in general, like at the urinal, fucking jerking off.
What if to pee you had to jerk off, but to like come you just had to do what you do to pee now? Just
I'd be coming a lot
just
more
swap
probably.
the two. Yeah, dude. Facts. I would wear a catheter on purpose.
All I have to do is think about it.
Yeah, just all right.
I just nutted.
I saw this thing. I forget what it was, but it was like this thing that like it's in testing where like it goes into your spinal cord and it like lets you like have orgasms like on command. I don't know. It's just like you think about. It's like one of those things that Elon Musk is putting in people's brains, like the chips. Like it's connected to that. Where,
Yeah.
like lets you have like pleasure and like dopamine like whenever you want, which sounds
So fucking
Good.
bad.
it sounds good like on the surface level, but also sounds like
The worst
detrimental
thing
to
that you could do
people's health.
for you.
Yeah.
You need to not have dopamine all the time. That's the problem with social media and shit like that, and like phones in general, is that it's just constant dopamine to your brain, and then you're like, fuck
So
what I
don't-
do
Well, now
without this
everything
dopamine.
else sucks.
So
Yeah.
don't stream a podcast and on an iPhone. I think that's my problem right now. Is my iPhone's at 15%.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
I think
trying
you need
to- I think the app is like
Shutting it down. Although it is charging right now, so
yeah,
See?
so you got to get her plugged in, dog.
it is plugged in now, so maybe we'll get lucky. School would cut out in a couple minutes.
I should have shipped you my old laptop just
Yeah.
for the day.
It would have been a good idea.
Oh yeah, there he goes again. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
It said, would have been a good idea. X instantly disappears.
Damn, that's a bummer. I got a bunch of things I want to ask him.
Oh man, that's funny. That's fun. I don't care who you are.
I don't care who you are. That right there is funny.
You want to see my most recent piece of art?
Yeah.
Oh, wait till you see this bad boy.
Oh, I did see this. The Boba helmet.
Boba helmet, baby. Look at that. Look how clean this is. Look, this fucking scanner even goes down.
Ooh.
Clean as
That
fuck,
is
right?
clean. That is clean.
I got a nice little collection of Star Wars Legos now, dude. I got him. I got Baby Yoda. I got Mandalorian's Starfighter. I've got a droid that I'm still working on, but the droid is super confusing. So I'm like, I kind of gave up halfway through. I got to restart.
We got Lex's sister's boyfriend some Legos, like some Avatar Legos for Christmas. He was hype about it.
Yeah.
He was texting Lex and he was like, "Yeah, I want these Legos, but you're probably not gonna be able to find them." And then she went and like sent him a screenshot from Target and was like, "This one?" And he was like, "Yeah, what the fuck?" But I know we like to keep our shit at like a couple hours around here. So I got some things I need to talk to Owen about before we sign off. And there he goes again, this fucking guy.
Oh man.
You think we're ever gonna get to it? You think he's gonna be able to last more than 2 minutes?
Maybe. Are we still gonna draft? We might not make it through a full draft.
We might not be able to draft.
We can have him back on part 2.
Part
O-Dawg
two?
part 2.
Yeah, not bad. We'll see if he comes back because there are some things I want to talk to him about. You know, things that he's like interested in, where I want his opinion on, like João Felix going to Chelsea.
Jow, 6-month loan.
I just don't understand the point.
Why?
They just lost to City in one of the cups. I mean, let's see, they're 10th in Premier League.
Chelsea's in 10th place?
Yeah, they're 10 points out of Champions League ball.
Damn, I didn't know they were having that bad of a season.
Yeah, like they're 7-4-6.
Yeah, on a 6-month loan, like that's not going to do much for you.
What's the point? I mean,
going into next year, you know what I mean? It's going to get you to June.
Let me see. They're moving on in the Champions League, so that's the only thing. It's like Champions League ball. You know what I mean?
Them up just for that. Is Atletico moving on? Do they move on or no?
Let me see. I don't even see. No, Atletico finished last in their group. They don't even have Europa League ball.
Oh damn.
But I mean they're 5th in La Liga.
Yeah, they're not catching Real Madrid though.
Well, they gotta catch
Although
Barca.
Real just lost. I think they just lost a league match the other day.
Yeah, Barca's 3 points ahead of Real Madrid.
Yeah, not worried about that though. They still got a lot of. Dude, I just want Champions League ball back. Which should come up soon. It's like
back.
a few weeks now. I think it's always like beginning of February.
I hope so. I hope so.
How
long do you think we get on for this time? All right, before we lose you, what do you think about João Felix to Chelsea?
Don't like it.
Yeah, like what's the point, right?
I hate every move that these new owners would make with Todd Boehly, the Americans. They found a way to ruin this club, and it's just been a nightmare.
And Pulisic is out.
To Sterling, to Koulibaly, like the list goes on. It's just bad signing after bad signing. You know, you take Premier League rejects and you put them in the squad, thinking it's going to work. It doesn't. I
can see the Sterling one, but that's because like I'm a City fan, so I watched him like literally in his prime. But yeah, the Alba signing doesn't make much sense, and I just don't understand this Felix signing. It's a 6-month loan. You're in 10th in the Premier League.
Is there an option to buy? Like I don't
think so.
I don't think so either.
No, I don't think there is.
So it's like, what the fuck is the point, dude? They're still in Champions League. They won their group in Champions
I
League.
could,
So
you
like,
know what's crazy is like I'm ripping them. Like I could see him making
Another deep run.
yeah,
I can actually see like the squad is built kind of for like a tournament style. The
no
league is
Pulisic
fun
though.
though.
He's out.
Pulisic stinks.
He's
Any
not
good.
bad.
He's not a Premier League player. He's not a
European, like a high-end European player.
like the team is just a mess.
Yeah, they're not
And they've
very
ruined
good.
everything Abramovich built. And
Well, there we go. So I guess maybe next week we'll think about what Owen thinks about Chelsea's chances in the Champions League when we
In the
talk to him in
Champions
April.
League. Leave him on a cliffhanger.
So I watched a movie.
Yeah,
I watched Antoine Fisher. Great movie. Have you seen it?
I have not. Waldo asked me the other day when we were playing COD if I had seen it, because that's when you were texting us for movie recs, and I said
Yeah.
I have not, but he said it was really good.
Dude, so good. It's Denzel Washington's first movie that he produced. I mean, it's just a banger. You should go watch it sometime.
Yeah, I'm desperate for like new movies to watch and shit to watch.
It's not new, but it's
no,
good.
I mean just like shit that I haven't seen before, because I feel like Netflix and Hulu and all these streamers, they just have been putting out like nothing lately.
Owen said he's gonna try one more thing. He's got one more idea.
All right.
Yeah, it was good. Antoine Fisher was good. Denzel's in it too, obviously, and he's a stud. And the whole thing's based on a true story, so it hits home a little bit harder. The guy that plays Antoine Fisher in the movie, grew up with him and was friends with him.
Oh, that's dope.
So there are definitely like some moments in that movie where it's like, I could see this being like unscripted, just like raw emotion. You know what I mean?
Right. What's it on?
It's on. I think we watched it on Prime Video.
Dope. Got that.
Yeah, I think everybody does at this point, pretty much. Shady's back. We'll see. We'll
if you never wanted to get yourself invited back to the podcast,
This is how you do it.
We'll see. We'll wait on the draft. See if
Yeah,
Owen
I
will
was gonna
stick
say,
around
like-
for more than a minute.
yeah, it's gonna be tough mid draft, just cutting out.
But let's see. All right, let's get your thoughts on the LIV and the Masters.
Oh, LIV in general, I think it's a great thing for golf.
Yeah,
I think it brings, I mean, sure, the whole Saudi influence isn't always the best thing in the world, but
yeah,
the PGA Tour wasn't paying players substantial amounts of money for years, and like they can just go and play in a couple tournaments a year and make a killing doing it. Like if you're Dustin Johnson, why not? Like you're the face of LIV making a killing now.
yeah.
And I mean, it's still competitive golf, and it's a party over there. Like they're having a good time.
That's
like,
what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
And one thing after the event, you win. Like the winning team goes on stage with champagne and they're spraying each other. Like it's like a Formula One race, like a podium celebration after. And I just think
Yeah.
that's like a cool addition to it, and like they did a good job with the things they changed. A 3-day tournament, sure, I can get on board with that. Like the different so I like the LIV.
What do you think about the Masters, like just keeping their qualifications the same? And do you think that they're ever going to change it or like have pressure to change it from the PGA?
I think that people have to adapt. Like they just super faster. They're
Yeah.
either gonna have to start paying more money and changing. They're gonna have to change something. I don't know exactly what it is, but they're definitely working on it. So they're losing a lot of high-end golfers to live pretty quickly too.
Yeah.
Like they offered Tiger what, $1 billion?
Yeah.
Like, you offer anybody else $1 billion, they might accept.
Yeah, but if Tiger's probably like, whatever, dude, I'm chilling. Like,
Yeah, he doesn't need it.
nah.
And like McIlroy doesn't need it. So like those
Yeah.
young guys that are grinding tournaments.
It's a tournament.
Yeah.
Like,
Like Cam Smith went, he was like, all right, I want a tournament in the PGA. Like,
yeah, he
still
won a
not
major, and,
fucking
like, 2
making
weeks later,
shit.
he signed with LIV.
Like that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And more
I
golf.
think
I'm an avid golf fan, so
So more golf.
better and more golf and media. I think it's better.
that's true. That's true. Do you think that like it sucks for like your typical run of the mill PGA tournament because you're losing so many big names? You know what I mean?
Well, I think that Live isn't like too ridiculous to schedule. I mean, they only have what 8 to 10 events this year,
I
and
don't know.
it's not yeah they don't schedule too many. It's not like a week in week out thing. And I don't think like you could still compete in both.
Yeah,
So sure, yeah, middle of the run. You know, PGA tournaments might suffer a little bit in and stuff, but they have been for years. Golf's
yeah,
a dying sport. Like Tiger Woods was the only person that put it on the map.
that's true. And like, I mean, hopefully the majors are still good to go to. Like, the Masters for now, they're keeping the same qualification requirements.
Mm-hmm.
So like Dustin Johnson, he's always going to get invited back because he won a Masters, so he gets invited back every
Yeah.
year. But then you look at like DeChambeau, he won a major, but that only gets him qualified for the Masters for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, you still have to be like top whatever in the world, win the
Yeah.
tournament, or so high and have enough points to qualify. And I like that. Keep it, prestigious in a sense.
Yeah, it's just gonna be harder because like like DeChambeau's now might not be in those majors because he's not on the PGA Tour anymore. So now it's like, all right, well, like now
Is
how do
he
you qualify?
officially off? Like, I'm not sure.
I think
Of,
so.
like the technical thing.
That's how I remember it being like kind of portrayed when the Masters was like, oh, we're not going to change our qualification requirements, because they were talking about just like like talking about they like went back and looked at all the things like the ways to qualify, and DeChambeau's I remember them being like, yeah, like he'll be good for another like 2 or 3 years because of this major that he won. Well, but Owen's gone, and after that, maybe he won't be in there.
And that he won his last major was 2020, I think. It was the U.S. Open, right?
Yeah, so like
So
he
he's
still has
already,
like a few years, like kind of past that.
right. No, I like Owen's point of like just having more golf in general, and also like how they're having fun in the LIV, because that's one thing I've despised about PGA is how like they're like it's almost like old baseball fans who are like, don't have
Yeah.
fun. This is a gentleman's sport. Blah, blah, blah. I like
Yeah.
seeing the emotion and like the drama. It's what sports is about, dude. Like the whole point, like NFL, like there's a running joke of, man, the script writers of this NFL season like were on fire this year because it's just like the drama and everything that's happened with sports in general, dude. It's just how it is. And I feel like PGA has like none of that because one, they don't market their players, and two, they don't let them have fun.
Yeah, they don't let him show any emotion. I mean, have you ever seen Happy Gilmore, dude? They try to control him.
Yeah, look what he did, bro. Made one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah, they need to be more accepting to the hoodlums that are just wilding out, having some fun.
Facts.
Maybe they'll go on to inspire a whole generation
of new Happy Gilmores.
Yeah,
I'm about it.
I kind of want to save this draft for when we could get Owen on again.
Yeah, I'm about it. I gotta go to the gym anyway.
All right, you want to get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, I'd say we did well. Almost 2 hours. Got some O time in, bro. We'll get him on some equipment next time that he's on, so that he doesn't keep
seriously.
bouncing.
Maybe he just needs a charged phone. The Miami Heat, they went 40 for 40 from the free throw line last night, and Jimmy Butler Jimmy Butler 23 of 23. And everybody's like, this is the best thing ever. Like the Heat are so miraculous for this. Well, last year the Sixers were free throw merchants.
Yeah, dude, and people always say like how like watching free throw basketball is not basketball and how it's just boring to watch when people go to the free throw every 15 seconds, which I agree to an extent. But also, you got to hit your free throws, and when you do hit your free throw, you're not going to not hit a free throw because you're getting a bunch of them. So when you are hitting your free throws, that is a part of the game, and you're good at it. You know what I mean? Why would you not?
The Heat won by 1 point yesterday.
And they went 40 for 40 on free throws.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Every single one of them fuckers mattered.
That's wild.
That is wild.
That is actually insane that they went perfect on 40 free throw attempts.
That's the most ever that a team shot perfect.
Wow.
So yeah, it's impressive, but it's just like, well, what is it? Is a bunch of free throws and making them good, or are you a free throw merchant cheating the game?
Right.
Because you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing with basketball. It's like I never fully understood like what's a foul and what isn't. I mean, I do to some extent, but I feel like there's just so much like leeway in what is and what isn't. And I think that's kind of what like turns people off to like the game, because watching it and you're just like every possession, like anytime somebody drives towards the rim, there's going to be a foul because of the way the offensive player leaned into a guy, or you know, the guy gets touched or something like that, and it's just like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Like, I just want to watch basketball, like hard played basketball. Obviously,
Good
you can't
luck.
tackle people, but yeah, I feel like fouls in NBA have just gotten a lot softer. Which I mean,
Oh yeah,
they
for
have
sure, for sure.
They have reason for it, but it's just not fun to watch when every time the ball goes on the court, there's going to be a foul at the rim, and then guy gets 2 free throws.
Mhm. All right. Well, I hope you guys had fun. I hope you have a good weekend.
We'll see you next weekend. We're gonna have fun next weekend too, or next week too. Don't worry.
Yeah, whoever you root for, go that team. Big
Go
big
that team.
wild card weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Get rowdy, but don't get too rowdy. You know, get rowdy responsibly.
Get rowdy responsibly. We all have responsibilities now. We're all adults, except for maybe a few of you listening. If we do have a younger audience listening, and if you are a younger audience listening, why are you listening? Because this is not for young kids.
Yo, I be cussing way too much.
Yeah, facts. Go do your homework and get to sleep.
And give somebody you love a hug.
And
Smooches.
maybe some smooches.